Clips, clips.
Tonight at 11.
Doom! It's a plan! And I'm angry! I'm not a slave! I've broken the conditioning! It doesn't work on me! I'm primitive, I'm real, I know the enemy, and if we can have this spirit of normal humanity spread, it's over for the globalist! Break the conditioning now! Excuse me.
This is not the Infowars Nightly News, where the answer to 1984 is not $19.95 plus shipping and handling, but the answer is to try and understand the double-barrel bullcrap, the double-speak, and the Orwellian wonderland we now find ourselves in. So sit back and relax as I take you through a real alternative look at the news and so-called alternative media alike. Enjoy.
Cips clips.
Alrighty, boob tubes, another one of Kip's Clips. Welcome to not the Infowars Nightly News. Something a wee bit different tonight in the sense that it's pre-recorded and not live. Technical issues. Technically I've got something to do, so can't be there, so I thought I'd pre-record it and put it on a premiere for the usual time. So welcome one and all. Remember, if you do enjoy not the Infowars Nightly News, the original, the OG baby, alternative look at the so-called alternative media, skeptical with the spectacles, and I've got testicles about the so-called skeptics and watching the motherfucking Watchmen, because somebody's got to do it. Welcome one and all. Remember, if you do appreciate the show, make sure you thumbs it up, share it with your friends, your family and your foes, help the channel and the show grow. And remember what I do here, it's digital basking. It's all available and accessible free of charge. I'm going to do such a good job you'll find value in what I do and use your spare change, not your life savings, on the Patreon and PayPal buttons down below. And a mega thanks to those who do. Okay, so I don't have a chat room to contend with because I'm not doing it live, so welcome everybody that's joined in the chat. I'll see if I can watch later on. So I'll just give a quick rundown of some of the topics that's on tonight's show and then get into it. So first and foremost, what I want to touch on is Joe Rogan Sanders effect. Now, funnily enough, this is where my crazy conspiracy head comes in, right? So Bernie Sanders goes on the biggest podcast in the world, and now he's surging ahead in all the polls and winning all the primaries. And the person, I mean, if you were in a head-to-head fight, and you had the ability to choose your opponent, you would do everything, I believe, political strategizing and stuff, you would do everything in your power to try and choose your opponent. What I believe I am witnessing, and this is my crazy conspiracy, I believe I'm witnessing the right wing, the Trump, the far right, the nationalistic, whatever movement you want to call it online, influence network online, the truther industrial complex. Oh, I've just remembered this is the truther industrial complex, as I've coined it. And what I witness, as you'll see here, look how many clips I've got praising Bernie and pointing your attention on Bernie. Now, through my mad YouTube journey, I'm subscribed to all sorts of channels and stuff, right? Predominantly on the right side of things. Why? Because they were the channels that groomed me through my thirst for conspiracy information towards them. You know, they would talk about Bigfoot and then tell me how good Trump is. And I've got a barrage of just all these independent media sources and stuff just pointing your direction in Bernie Sanders. And it's my humble belief, as well as other well-known political analysts, which I'll get to, humble belief that if Donald Trump could pick an opponent, it would be Bernie Sanders. I mean, can you imagine Donald Trump versus Bernie Sanders in America? It's a walk-in for Trump. All he does is need to go down the communist route, right? I was trying to explain this to a guy in the gym the other day, man, and he's like, "He's not a commie, no, he's not." I'm like, it doesn't matter if he is a commie or he isn't a commie. It doesn't matter if he comes out now and says he's a zebra. It doesn't matter. You've got you've got him in the 70s being basically a full-on communist. You've got him on umpteen sound bites of him being a full-on communist. If and when Trump goes head-to-head with Bernie Sanders, Trump is going to annihilate him, because America, like just what happened over here, the UK public couldn't hate in general. I've never hated a Prime Minister so much as in general the public have disdain for our current one. How did we get such a unliked figure to become our Prime Minister here in the UK? Well, I lay that blame at Jeremy Corbyn. If your opposition is non-existent, which Jeremy Corbyn was, again, here in the UK, I would say to a lesser extent than America, in fact, a lot lesser extent than America, but we still have that Cold War hangover, where all you do is need to go, call me, and nobody will vote for him. Right? I'm sorry to break this down to these folks. People aren't as fucking broad-minded and thinking about who they're going to vote for as you think. The average person that goes down and votes does it out of habit. Anyway, I digress. It's about the floating voters. So we'll talk about my Joe Rogan Sanders. I think Joe Rogan works for the deep state. Listen. Right, but I'm going to show you a few examples tonight of my breakdown of Joe Rogan. And I think I think people out there who put the pussy on a pedestal, whether it be Joe Rogan, Max Egan, Brian Gerrish, whoever tickles your fancy, if you put the pussy on a pedestal, then you're ruled by it, you know? You're ruled by it. They're in control. The pussy is in control. So, break that down. Bloomberg is bad, okay? Joe Rogan, a few excerpts of Joe Rogan trying to break down how I believe the biggest podcast in the world has an editorial stance. Not that he has an agenda, but he understands the power of broadcasting. This isn't anything new. And that's his business model. Mad Max, we need to touch on the Mad Max. Rootin' tootin' Mad Max. I'm not an NPC, but we're going to do 6-dimensional Twister on this baby. Right? So fuck Trump and his 4D chest. Chest? I don't know, we've probably got a 4D chest somewhere. Anyway, fuck Donald Trump and his 4D chess. I play 6-dimensional Twister, bitches. Anyway, YouTube psychosis. Alright. Now, again, this is kind of... If there's... I don't know, what am I trying to say here? I don't think you can blame individuals for falling down rabbit holes and believing whatever bizarreness that may tickle their fancy. It's not a crime believing in chemtrails, Bigfoot, UFOs, and any of this shit, right? I believe a lot of people have got there because of digesting too much YouTube algorithms sucking them down rabbit holes, and before you know it, boom! Anyway, and you can't really blame that individual, or can you? Or can you have a heart and some sympathy as to why to the normal Mr. Smith in the street, somebody's acting batshit crazy? Anyway, the international nationalists. I love the international nationalists. Hey, I love my country so much that I want to spread my country's the message I want for my country everywhere else. Well, hold on there, right? Now let's investigate this a wee bit more, because you hide behind the veil of nationalism, you hide behind the veil of even right-wing politics, and some would even go as far to say that we are right-wing, far right. Some people don't operate in the shadows and admit that. But somehow they've got all their agenda is a global agenda. They want to spread their nationalism globally. while complaining about the globalists. And it's as bizarre as it sounds. So we'll look at some of the example of international nationalism. Yeah, on the surface, it's an oxymoron, and only morons would pretend to be a nationalist while flying around the world giving speeches in Denmark, Belgium, Hungary, anywhere that will have them. International global. The beauty about recording this, you can actually pause it. Anyway, international nationalists. Give you a few examples of that. Right, let's just battle through this. Then, of course, that's meant to say China stinks. But I'm going to draw attention to how I think people accept there's a trade war and a currency war going on with China right now for some time. Trump has ramped it up. And the coronavirus has came at a perfect time where it's shutting down a lot of China's economy. Now, as we're aware, China's the manufacturer. So China's the workshop of the world. China's the manufacturing king, big daddy. What's my kingpin? Something like that. Kingpin of the world. Now, Donald Trump, as part of his promise to the American people, was to bring manufacturing back. So, what I'm pointing at are the people that are capitalising, or what I believe to be people that are engaged in the information war, capitalising upon what's happening here. And the general meme is China stinks, China stinks, China. It's stinky food, bad food stuff. You don't want your factories there. China stinks. They spit everywhere. You know, you generally just see this meme. Now, and again, what they do is they point to all these clips of people in China being minging, right? Which you could probably get clips of anybody in any country in the world doing that. But if you constantly, relentlessly keep repeating that, it's part of a smear campaign rather than going, here, do you know what I've got? I've got footage of a Chinese guy going blah in the street. But if the only people they constantly show you being minging are Chinese people, you're like, right, hold on, something else is going on here. So that's what I believe the people within the information war capitalising upon the coronavirus, or whatever it's called nowadays. Corona fear. The truth or winter break, people. At this time of year, all the truthers from around the world, they go to Acapulco in Mexico, and they all come together and live stream each other, and oh god, it's one big cockfest. Hey, whoo, look how good you are, man. Hey, don't you know you're great, man? You said this back in the day, I said that back in the day, I said this. And they all sit around in Acapulco talking about how great they are, selling their books, networking and all that in their little network. Max Egan couldn't make it this year. He was getting transported up to the Starship Enterprise. Jean-Luc Picard is back, folks. Didn't you miss him? I'll be honest, he's a bit too old to fly. You can see him kind of dying slowly in front of the camera. But I'm only one episode in. Maybe he'll spring back to life. So we'll have a look at the Truth or Winter Break and a few of the characters over there. Like, hey, Max Egan isn't though. Ireland. For some reason, all the nationalists that were obsessed with Trump, obsessed with Brexit, obsessed with every form of exit stuff in the EU, and because of the previous election in Ireland and the build-up, we're pointing people's direction. You know, into Irish, the internal politics of Ireland. Now, it's very interesting because this is my gripe. I don't have a problem doing what they're doing, but they disguise it as independent news telling you the truth, when it's people with an extreme political slant trying to fucking get you to vote a particular way. There's my gripe. If they bounced up on the telly and meant this is a party political broadcast sponsored by Jim Dawson, but alright, okay, he's went through the proper channels. Might not be perfect, but you can kind of understand how that system has evolved. But when the Wild West of the internet was unveiled, they're like, oh, hold on a sec, this is where everybody's getting their news from now. Pretty much. And it's unpoliced, so anybody can bounce on and they can give you $1 million as long as you vote here. And people are naive. They've suspended disbelief. They bounce around the internet, putting pussies on pedestals, no matter who that talking head pussy is. And then they're controlled by these, and then maybe at one point, this pussy on the pedestal might go, "Flat Earth, I've been hit with direct energy weapons." And then it causes a schism, and that person's head like, "No, he can't be lying." And it's like almost like somebody trying to point out the cult leader who's created a big cult, and like, "No, he's not lying. He just tripped up and his dick was hard and he fell inside her. Honest, I believe him." Anyway, so Ireland. We'll have a wee look at the stuff coming from Ireland. Who gives a fuck about Philip Schofield? All I can see is a lot of homophobes coming out and fucking using this as a way of fucking... There's no... Anyway, let's try and inject some common sense into all these idiots that for some reason seem to think Philip Schofield is like the devil incarnate. I don't know, I just can't see it. I just have a different point of view, and because I'm not in the cult, I can voice this. Tommy and his clones, Alex and Roger sitting in a tree. Brian Harvey is back next to the murky troll swamp because they're inherently linked. These freaks are obsessed with Brian Harvey for some reason, and everything that goes in around them, and it fits their MO, their pattern of going around other successful YouTube channels and trying to latch on, troll. "We're not trolls. My name's Lady Sparkle from the Troll film, but I'm not a troll. My name's Flow Destroyer. I go around destroying people's flows, but I'm not a troll. My name's Grubnob the Troll, but I'm not a troll. Trolling's bad. People who do trolling stuff is bad, but we're a network of fucking trolls. So much so that we've even named ourselves after the movie Trolls. But we're not trolls. Remember that? So we'll be looking into the murky troll swamp, unfortunately. 5G fear. I mean, and again, this sort of like, it's becoming apparent now that 5G's rolled out and all the information about the genuine Five Eyes, security concerns about the Chinese getting the Huawei, particularly the Chinese getting their infrastructure in the West. Anybody that's still now clinging to this 5G direct energy weapon pish, you're delusional. Well, you know, I don't know, maybe you're right. But I think these are delusional. Guys, the more information that comes out about this, it's becoming obvious what all this 5G fear shite is all about. To me, at least, you know. But I've been harping on this for years. And it's funny, the 5G fear traces back. For me, the genesis for me was Max Egan when he came back from a trip at Anarchapulco, and I don't know, he seemed to think that 5G was the... So who in the Five Eyes is controlling all this truther shite, or has got control over the talking heads in the truther industrial complex to get them all parroting 5G fear as if it's real, when it's nothing more than some freaks, some paid shills, some idiots, some old fucking feared men sitting around going, "I've got a white coat and some names," projecting fear into you, worst case scenarios, using technology they know people don't understand, and bamboozling you with bullshit to make you think that 5G's coming in and direct energy weaponing you, which was self-evident when a woman got locked up because of this. 5G hadn't been rolled out yet, there wasn't even any antennas or anything, but an antenna propped up and just a normal mobile phone mast, something different. This woman had been listening to all this shite, started hearing a buzzing in her head, and it was only in her head, you know, it's not coming from anything 5G, but because idiots online had been fucking propagating this shite, it's now manifested in her nut, and the doctor was so concerned that he sent the guy for the white coats. And Richie Allen was so concerned that he then brought her on and didn't tell her, "You're batshit crazy, hen. Why are you going making yourself crazy about an imaginary fear?" How anybody out there can sit around and... It's just fear porn. Fucking absolute, pure, unadulterated fear porn. Anybody out there parroting 5G is going to kill you when it is getting rolled out, you're scaring people to the extent where they're hearing things in their head which doesn't exist, and their doctor's sending out people in the white coats, all because you were fooled by Max Egan, who gets fucking direct energy weapons zapped into his head and thinks the earth is flat, and he's fucking He's one of the pussies on the pedestal in the truth movement. And his name isn't even Max Egan. Again, the irony of this shit. The irony of them even fucking trying to present themselves as independent journalists, and you're like, right, well, here, Don, stick journalist into Wikipedia, read what one is, and then get back to me when you're fucking following even just the basic principles of that shite. I'm an independent journalist. Turning on a camera and rhyming and repeating RT or Alex Jones doesn't make you an independent journalist. It makes you an NPC. Makes you a rhyming repeater. And talking about rhyming repeaters, here's some right-wing echo. You know, people all independently talking about their deepest down fears. You know, I don't know about yous, right? I think Glasgow's a quite... what's the word I'm looking for? You get every colour of the fucking rainbow in Glasgow, right, to some extent, as most places in the world, I would argue, right? And all this trans stuff that's coming out, and it's only on the internet. And it's only on YouTube, and it's only amongst truthers. And for some reason they can't stand back and see this. They can't go and spend a week outside, go in the high street, go to a pub, go to a club, go out in the real fucking world, and tell me where all these trans people coming out and beating you with a stick and trying to fucking indoctrinate your children are. Because it's just not the reality. It's not the reality. This is propagated bullshit. And I'm not even telling you, like, agree, disagree with trans fucking things, folk, guys, girls, I don't know. Agree, disagree, feel free. But why? But people can't see themselves becoming this fucking echo chamber. Oh, there was a guy in a dress speaking to a child. It's called a Scotsman. Anyway, I digress. So, let's get into the mess. Now, what I wanted to show here was not that. Right, so the US election. Bernie Sanders is favourite, right? He's 11-8. Now, me personally, what I done 4 or 5 days ago, I put 20 quid on Bernie Sanders to win the Democratic nomination. And I'll get $50 back, so the odds have been shortened ever so slightly. But my Illuminati deep state senses are telling me Bernie Sanders is the chosen one. He is the anointed wolf in sheep's clothing to go up against Trump and fail. So Donald Trump gets another 4 years. I believe it's the way it's been ordained. And so much so, I stuck 20 quid on it. And by, I think it's June or July or something, I wish it was tomorrow. And by then I might have doubled my money, might have lost my money, but I'll have fun watching. So come on the Bernie! Now, this is just going on, Joe Rogan bigging up Bernie, right? Now, it's funny. I mean, Joe Rogan's sitting there going, I'm just a guy in a room drinking a whiskey and smoking the weed with my friends, right? I don't believe he's that stupid. He doesn't come across stupid. He comes across very media savvy. In fact, to be where he is, he has to be, I would argue. And he's aware, the biggest point, he's aware of the Joe, people talk about it when they go on, the Joe Rogan effect. Like, does anybody know what native advertising is? Right? And so every person that's going on Joe Rogan's podcast, whether people understand this or not, is getting airtime on the biggest podcast in the world. Right? And you can be on there going, hey Joe, look, I've just built this pen. This ain't an ordinary pen, Joe. You can hunt the elk with it. Not only can you hunt the elk when you're out there being all manly and butching the fucking trees and jungle and being jungle shit. Look, it bends. Can you see? But it's not a bendy pen. But it bends, Joe. And I can go on there and Joe, and do you know, I would sell hundreds of thousands, millions of that pen. I wonder how many crates of Dan Aykroyd's and I'm not holding this against Joe Rogan for doing this, by the way. He's more than welcome to do that. That's his business model. That's how his podcast exists. I'm just trying to point this out to people so you don't suspend disbelief and think Joe Rogan's just a guy asking his friends on. He's getting Bernie Sanders on at a time of the Democratic nominee stuff. Do you think he'd have Hillary Clinton on? Do you think he'd have Joe Biden on? Right? Do you think that's an accident? Do you think Joe Rogan's having the picks out the Democratic nominees on that would most suit Trump? Now, maybe I'm seeing Jesus in toast. Maybe I am seeing Jesus in toast, but I don't think so. And I put my money where my mouth is. So anyway. Oh God. Now, look at how many. I'm going to have to do some jiggling the handle here. Okay, jiggle the handle a wee bit. Now, this is just a snapshot. And these are typical. Well, you'll see the channels that are on, right? Oh! Now, if this doesn't tell you all you need to know now, let me get into this. This is beautiful. Oh, hold on. It's going to take ages. Going to take a long time, man. Why? Right, now, put a date on this. 14th of February. Oh, hold on if I can find this. Let me see if I can find this. Good, found it. Right. So, why Joe Rogan endorsed Bernie Sanders conspiracy theory. And the date on this bad boy, 27th of January. Right. Now we have Jim Dawson. Now Jim Dawson, he's a marketing. He's by trade. He's a marketing expert, and he particularly focuses on demographics. And he's a marketing expert who focuses on demographics that's fell down the far right political activist route. What a beautiful combination, eh? What an absolute beautiful combination. Now, this is the 14th of February. So over 14 days ago.
Bernie Sanders, he's picked up New Hampshire. Brilliant news, because who couldn't beat Bernie Sanders? He's as mad as a brush. But let's not be too complacent. So America's gone down the pan. How do we repair it? Well, I'm going to explain a few things to you on the Tim Report. Come and join me there and we'll talk about it together.
He's a guest presenter.
He's probably the Sanders has won the New Hampshire report. And what have we got today? Well, I want to speak to our American brethren. I see Bernie Sanders has won the New Hampshire primaries. And people are saying, oh, it's terrible. No. It's very good, actually. It's excellent.
Now, are you listening to this? Like, the people who are openly Trump supporters, this guy is fully schooled in political strategizing, the political world, marketing, demographics. I'm not making this stuff up. Stick his name into the Googles. He's bigging up Trump, and now he's telling you that Bernie Sanders doing well is the best thing that could happen for Donald Trump. And people are wondering why I'm so crazy and saying, like, well, watch this. All the independent media, right-wing lunatics, if they know it, right, NPC soldiers or whatever, will all now start pushing Bernie Sanders to be the Democratic nominee. So, remember how propaganda works as well. For example, if I spoke about it early on, if you start up an independent news station, but all you do is do negative story, just go to China and find everything negative in China constantly. That's not news. It's not independent journalism. It's a narrow narrative they're selling you on the back hour, telling you the truth. Blah, 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 blah. And the same's happening.
he's probably the best guy for Donald Trump to win these primaries, other than...
I mean, it's for me, this is why I put my money where my mouth is. I believe all these independent news organisations now pushing Bernie Sanders are doing it because they want a Jeremy Corbyn situation. We've got one of the most hated prime ministers ever known, and there is no opposition. Fuck all. There's an old crusty cunt who's a commie wearing a cardigan that can't argue spit me out a paper bag. And we're wondering how Boris Johnson's trampling up and down this country doing whatever he wants. There's nobody to stand up for him. And call me crazy, I can see this, just like I can see how Bernie's... If Bernie is what Donald Trump would want... Bernie is what Donald Trump would want. I can see this. And I've seen it here in the UK as it transpired with Jeremy Corbyn. The guy was never... ever in a million years going to lose. Anybody could have been in charge of the Conservatives. It was I don't know if that makes sense. Honestly, anybody could have been in charge. If one of the most hated prime ministers of modern times has recently just won an election, think about it. Anybody could have been in charge. You couldn't have found such a more hated figure than Boris Johnson in this country. But he had no opposition. Now, and I fail to believe that the political... I fail to believe that people in and around the Labour Party aren't aware of this. Jeremy Corbyn might be great. You might subscribe to his ideology. But if you run the numbers here in the UK, that guy is never... in a million years, no matter what he promises or does, going to win an election. Jeremy Corbyn knew this. That's why he held on. That's why the Conservatives during the Brexit shit were kept pushing for a general election. And Corbyn kept postponing because he knew he would lose. So it's, I don't know. I just think, I feel I'm a bit sceptical about thinking it's an accident, to be honest. Right, a wee bit more of this, then we'll move on.
Coco the Clown or Ronald McDonald, because he's nuts. He's completely mental. And Bernie Sanders, I would suggest, could not run a booze up in a pub. So, great, excellent. If that's going to be the Democrats' candidate, good. But beware, because Sanders will be able to motivate and mobilise every single Hispanic, black, immigrant, illegal, legal, whatever. He will be able to mobilise all of that, desperate. And I know there's a lot of good people amongst those groups as well. I'm not saying anything different, but you know, most of them are Democrats, so he'll be able to mobilise all them. He will also be able to mobilise all the young people who are crazy, all these middle-class kids who live in mum's basement but think they're revolutionary communists, but have all got the latest iPhone. They will all be triggered by Sanders and think they're on a roll. But don't be too worried. We had this in Britain quite recently, a few months ago, with a guy called Jeremy Corbyn, who...
And I don't know, is it just me, are these patterns repeating? There's nothing different. Different names, different ideologies, different champions at points, but it's just the same shit repeating. So, this is my Joe Rogan, Bernie Sanders conspiracy theory. Joe Rogan had Bernie Sanders on because I believe he's part of the kind of pro-Trump media apparatus. I don't think that makes him a bad man. It just makes him part of the media. That's what the media is. And he is the largest podcast in the world. I can't say it anymore. Everybody's watching that going, hey man, I'm so alternative. I watch Joe Rogan and I meditate. Hey. And you're like, no, that's the norm now. It's like when everybody started watching Alex Jones, like, I watch the alternative stuff. You're like, no. You're just bouncing around, rhyming, repeating everything Alex Jones is saying. Anyway, I digress. Let's have a wee look at some more of the Bernie Sanders' great stuff. And that was My old conspiracy.
Hi, my name is Rebecca Modine. I'm a politics reporter with USA Today. I'm here in our Washington, D.C. bureau covering the New Hampshire primaries.
Yeah, go on the Bernie. Bring home the bacon, Bernie. I want my 50 quid. Bernie Sanders wins New Hampshire, France 24. Jeremy Corbyn's biggest fan. Jeremy Corbyn's personal YouTube fanboy. That's him chanting. He must have actually went. No way. Now, remember the Chunky Mark conspiracy. He was at Bilderberg. He had funny handshakes with people. But he was at Bilderberg, Watford? No, Walford's EastEnders. Watford, Bilderberg and Watford. When reality and TV collide. Now, here's Bernie Sanders' brother. Here's Chunky Mark. Can I date this? 2018. So here's Bernie Sanders' brother. Oh man, it's mental how like when you look at Boris Johnson's family and who his siblings are and his dad and all that, you're like, phew. And then like Bernie Sanders, here's his brother turning up before he was running for the Democratic nominee back in 2018, but Bernie Sanders had previously ran but didn't do that well. Oh, anyway, it's a close-knit community. Very close-knit community. Bernie Sanders, come on, bring home the bacon. He wins.
Joe
the
Biden
speech.
is adding to his list of most awkward greatest hits on the campaign trail.
Now, I hate to comment when I don't know. I'm searching my memory banks. I believe this guy is kind of like a... I hope I'm not talking out of turn right, and I might be completely wrong. Unless I'm getting him mixed up with somebody else, it's my opinion he's a kind of like a Tim Pool character, you know? Kind of like Joe Rogan character, kind of like, ooh, I'm on the left of politics. That's strange. You just constantly, I mean, it's like, it's beyond like actually like sort of a debate, constantly just talking about right-wing politics, talking points, topics, trans this, gay marriage that. Regardless of your opinion, it's all you're drawing. You might not tell people what to think, but you tell them what to think about. And I believe he's the same guy, kind of guy. And now he's in here. He's not on the surface here you wouldn't go, this is pro-Trump. Or however this message managed to get put out on this guy's channel, this is pro-Trump. Because when you look at it from politics, Trump wants Biden to do badly because Biden stands a greater chance of winning against Trump than Bernie or the other one or any of the others. And this is what you would be doing if you were running a political campaign, let's say for a little job like US president and shit. You'd be strategizing, you would be, I believe you'd be thinking about stuff like this.
Well, John, voting is underway, as you can see here behind me. We're not expecting any of the chaos that we saw in Iowa last week.
Oh, he did win, though, didn't he?
The nation primary narrowing a crowded Democratic field. Let's get
What's
right
this?
to the results.
ABC News.
ABC News projects that Senator Bernie Sanders will win the New Hampshire primary.
Woohoo! Yeah, bitches.
All right, everyone. Today is definitely a good day in politics. The New Hampshire primary, of course, has now culminated. Bernie Sanders barely managed to win by about...
Now, again, if you're an independent journalist, or I would call you a Trump propagandist, because this guy thinks he's an independent journalist, he would stand up there red-faced and say he is, although, like, everything comes from a pro-Trump right-wing standpoint, and he can't see that because he's in the cult, because it's just right, you know, they're wrong, and we're right. And again, here's another independent journalist or Trump propagandist telling you how great it is that Bernie's doing well.
Out of point. keep in mind, he wanted to win by a fairly substantial margin. New Hampshire has...
Okay, anyway. Point is, he's happy Bernie's doing well. And he's a pro-Trump guy. The Telegraph! Woohoo! Bernie's the best! Bernie's the best!
The headline grabber from the New Hampshire primary, the second stage of the Democratic race for the White House, is both the winner, veteran left-winger Bernie Sanders, and the obvious loser, former Vice
Now, remember, look at the channels. I'm pulling all this pro-Bernie stuff. See, in the process of doing this now, I just subscribed to the channel and look through my emails at all the stuff they put up. So I get an absolute, it must be a 10 to 1, 20 to 1, even higher ratio of Bernie Sanders stuff to any of the other candidates. I mean, I could tell you Bloomberg is trying to run, and that's because he runs a channel. TV channel. I think that's what he does. And who's that other one that Joe Rogan told me about? Stacey Gabbard or something? I don't know. I think he might have had her on as well. She's an ex-Marine, like, but anyway, for me, it's overwhelmingly noticeable. Everybody's pointing your attention to how great Bernie is.
Alright, folks, the unthinkable has finally happened.
The black holes from around your eyes have dissipated. No, I still need some more sleep.
We've been staring at the Real Clear Politics numbers, wondering...
Stop staring at them. It's too much, mate. You need some sleep. Look at the bags under your eyes.
New Hampshire felt the burn and ran with it. Senator
Channel
Bernie
4.
Sanders gave this
Sky
Democratic
News.
election its first...
Every angle. Bernie is great, man.
Hey, friends.
And if you're trying to get Trump elected for 2020, of course you would be out there. You would be trying to cause confusion, fighting within the democratic structure. You would try and, using war analogies, you would try and weaken your enemy from within. Anyway, so, what's that? Oh, Zero Hedge. You got to love your Zero Hedge. It's real news, man. Zero Hedge. Double
You're
7
joined
news.
now by Senator Sanders. Senator Sanders, congratulations on the victory last night. Woo-hoo! How do you feel?
Right, so already CNN are allowing Bernie to land the first few blows against Bloomberg. You fucking arsehole, you and all your money, you're going to try and buy this election?
This is it. I'm heading back. I've got to get back.
You sure this is it, Mark? Because you told me Jeremy Corbyn was it. No, Bernie Sanders is it. This is it. This time I know it's the real thing. I can't escape this the feeling. I'm lost for words. Bernie Sanders, you are the shit. Something like it.
To London. I arrived in a snow blizzard. I'm going out in one as well.
And this is just a cocaine party.
Apparently there's a massive... I didn't know what to expect when I came. I didn't have a clue. And what I saw, what I witnessed, filled me up.
Oh, yes.
With joy.
That's what Corbyn done before he let you down, you know, before he led a weak opposition to allow fucking Bobo Clownface do what he wants. Am I overthinking this? Does anybody now thinking back, going like that, looking at the figures and the election results, think that there was people in the know that had ran the figures and knew that literally anybody could run against Corbyn and win? Because Corbyn's just unelectable. An old fucking frail man in a cardigan. Remember the good old days of communism in my little red book. The fucking days are gone.
With the spirit of hope, I saw the American dream team.
Oh, that's definitely the cocaine in it. Spirit of hope, Bernie fucking Colonel Sanders. Mate, that's the fucking secret recipe you're full of?
I saw Cornel West.
Had you seen Colonel Sanders? Was that Colonel Sanders' his rival, Colonel West? Must be a rival fucking chicken gaff. Must be like fucking chicken wars going on here.
Absolute.
And we've all seen Breaking Bad, haven't we? We've all seen Breaking Bad. We all know what chicken shops are really all about. So, basically, right, Breaking Bad is reality. We know that. Which means Bernie Sanders, aka Colonel Sanders, is a drug kingpin. I mean, there is no disputing that logic train that I just followed there. All on the premise that TV shows are reality. Remember, the Matrix is real. It's talking to you, and Breaking Bad is really a story about Colonel Sanders and his rise to world dominance.
Righteous. Do you feel it in your gut? Do you feel it in your bowel? Do you want a better America? I saw...
Mate, that's definitely the cocaine. Getting a wee bit of a jet with an arsehole going like that when the cocaine's coming up in you, Marky boy. Well, at least somebody had fun at Bernie Sanders' party. The Rational National. Now, again, this is where I'm playing six-dimensional Twister, people, right? Butt naked, sweaty, in 6 dimensions, with some hot-looking models, right? All the way, baby. 6D Twister. Fuck your 4G chest, Trump. Anyway, so, if I was Donald Trump, and I wanted to run against Bernie, and not Bloomberg, I would say I would rather, it's a double bluff. Flat a bluff. So everybody that hates Trump goes like that. Oh, he's scared of Bernie. Let's go and get behind Bernie. Bernie's the only one. So let's say there's some Trump haters that fall for this line. They would want to back up Bernie. Oh, Trump's scared of Bernie.
Frankly, I'd rather run against Bloomberg than Bernie Sanders.
While speaking to reporters, Donald Trump admitted that he'd rather face Michael Bloomberg than Bernie Sanders.
Okay there. No, he said that. He's currently in a political campaign. We all know politicians politic, and they're full of shite and never say what they actually mean. But this guy, because he puts Donald Trump as the pussy on the pedestal with this guy, he can't think Donald Trump's doing anything other than... Because he's suspending disbelief. He's like, oh, Donald, tell me some more truths, Donald.
Frankly, I'd rather run against Bloomberg than Bernie Sanders.
No. You want Sanders to run because you can beat him easily.
Because Sanders has real followers, whether you like him or not, whether you agree with him or not. I happen to think it's terrible what he says, but he has followers. Bloomberg's just buying his way in.
Right. So, an election where it's Trump versus Bernie Sanders, it's going to boil down to the midget mind of your average American as communism versus capitalism. I know what it's like, the Cold War hangover that's here in the UK, where people's arseholes still twitch when you mention communism. And it's my humble opinion, that sentiment, that feeling, is maybe 10 or 100-fold in America. And I think Donald Trump's side has ran the numbers and understand the best possible outcome in the Democratic nominee contest would be Bernie Sanders. And because they know that, they have now organised their information department to spread pro-Bernie stuff on the run-up to the Democratic nominee election shit. Anyway.
There it is. And this backs up all the reporting of what Trump is saying behind the scenes, which I'll get to as well.
Yeah, what he just said there tells me that Donald Trump's telling the truth all the time.
Welcome back, beautiful and amazing human beings.
Welcome back. I got a big nose and a funny haircut like
Tintin. News updates that I have to stop the important work that I'm doing here at Anarchapulco to give you.
This important work that I'm doing here at Anarchapulco. You reached the truth yet, Hen? No, you need to keep sucking for the truth. Yeah. How you getting on over there, Max Egan? Hey. They go here in Acapulco, he live it up, hookers and blow, make some money for a couple of weeks, and my hard work I'm doing here, filming with all my buddies.
This video. Before jumping right into it, I want to thank everyone for supporting us and allowing these videos to be for you for free.
So Bernie Sanders win reveals media minute. I can't even be arsed listening to this shit.
Here's how you fix partisanship. You rename it partisanship. It's simple, it's elegant. Our country is more divided than ever before, and not just between those who put pineapple on their pizza, these people are literal monsters, and those who rightly find that disgusting practice disgusting. According to Gallup, the 82-point partisan gap
I want to eat pineapple. I want a pizza half and half.
between Republican approval of the job President Donald Trump is doing, 89% approval, and Democratic approval of the job he's doing, 7%, during his third year in office, is the largest since the poll began in 1945.
Bamboozling you with bullshit with numbers, but America's divided. People have done the numbers. The people that are politically strategizing for the parties. And what we're witnessing is them trying to roll out their campaigns to engage with whatever demographics they have to engage with, wind up the ones they don't, so on and so forth. And that's what we'll be witnessing. And what I believe we're witnessing, as I said, Bernie Sanders getting pushed forward by the Trump apparatus.
That we do need to speak about here. So as you guys know,
The year is 1972. Democrats are facing a re-election campaign from incumbent Richard Nixon, convinced the only way they will win is with a new progressive coalition of college-educated voters, young people, and minorities. They choose to nominate McGovern. This was a huge mistake, which resulted in one of the worst...
Now again, this is like... Now this guy is Trump. He pretends to try... He tries to project himself to be on the left of politics. When all he does is focus on right-wing talking points. Anyway, I've done plenty on Tim Baldy.
After coming in a distant fourth place in the New Hampshire primary due to a surging Amy Klobuchar and getting 0 delegates, it looks like it may be the beginning of the end for Elizabeth Warren's campaign. Please tell us, how do you plan on actually winning your party's nomination?
It's another independent journalist from the Truth Movement who just turned into one massive party political broadcast.
Hey, how you doing? This is Random Rant Ryan. I'm Ryan. Who are you?
I thought that was my
Before we go on the show, please go down in the description box and subscribe to my BitChute. Also, information is linked down below if you want to get a hold of me on social media or contribute to my channel via PayPal or Patreon. But please, most importantly, do subscribe to my BitChute. Steve Bannon is dropping, or did drop, huge Bernie Sanders bombshells on Bill Maher just a few days ago. So about a week ago, I guess. I've been wanting to do this sooner, but haven't got to it. And I think Bannon really encapsulates a lot how I feel about Sanders. Some of these more grassroots type folks on the left. And it's kind of funny, actually, to watch the crowd react and just Steve Bannon, whatever you think about the guy, whether you think he's a great guy or not, he's definitely a smart dude, especially when it comes to politics and political strategy. He literally just annihilates Bill Maher and the crowd to the point where they're just stunned and silent because they know there's nothing they can do. And it's pretty amazing to watch this, what I consider level of vision. So let's watch this.
Yep.
And I'll give my commentary as we go on.
Democratic for one person to rep.
What I love about you guys. You've got to whine about everything.
Whine?
The game is, it's match play, not medal play.
No,
win it, match play.
I understand
okay?
what the rules
Show me
are.
You could win. No, you know what the rules are and you can't win.
You're right.
You've had
You're
four,
right. We should. You're
Bill,
right. Hillary should have gone to Wisconsin because it's an electoral college game. I've admitted that many times. That's not the point. You said, why do you win? You win because the game is rigged for you. I get it.
Absolutely not. It's absolutely not.
The electoral college. All right.
Hold it. With this attitude, the beauty, we're going to keep winning. We're going to keep winning. I love this.
I know you.
So he says, with this attitude, we're going to keep winning. He's making commentary on how the left is.
Right, so the right wing want to wind up the left right? Wind them up, because when you wind people up, they act like lunatics, and then you can point to them and go, look, I told you they were a lunatic. It's self-fulfilling prophecy, if you want to call it that. And that's what the Donald Trump apparatus is openly admitting to through Steve Bannon.
Gone into hysterics here. The left refuses to make any
I just want you to listen
points to do. We've had folks on this. The left is in the mirror, right? I keep losing because you're.
You guys have not, how can you sit here? How can you sit here and have an oligarch, a Republican oligarch, that is going to be the salvation of the Democratic Party? Okay, it's outrageous. You guys have screwed. Well, Bernie's been screwed by the Democrat.
So he's talking about Bloomberg, a Republican, being the salvation of the Democratic Party, and somebody shouts out Bernie. Listen to this.
Party. Look at the last week. They wouldn't allow the poll to be released where he was up 4. Okay, then they do this thing as soon as the whole.
So remember, another tactic is to everybody has sympathy for a victim, so you paint yourself as a victim. Oh, poor mate, like Bernie's getting attacked by the Democratic apparatus. Oh, come on, Democrats, let's all rally around Bernie. And this is all coming almost straight from the top of Donald Trump's apparatus.
A debacle about the count. As soon as he starts closing in, the Democratic Party says, hey, let's have a recanvass. Okay?
He tells them, yeah, you guys have a populist candidate. You guys have a candidate. And I think a lot, just like I believe Bannon's pointing this, forced to reflect.
Right. Had a belly full of the Clintons come either don't vote or come vote for Trump.
I understand why you're against Bernie. Yes, I mean,
this is really interesting. Watch this. I love Bernie. I love Paradigm Shattered.
A populist,
right? He's a socialist.
I don't agree. I don't agree with his solutions. I think a lot of.
That's kind of a big part of politics.
No, the biggest part. One of the biggest parts is identifying the problem. I think Bernie's identifying the problem.
Trump.
Bernie's identifying really.
Oh fuck! I want to listen to that, and anyway, I get my points out, thankfully. And here's the rational national. Right, what would be rational, mate, is not flying around the world and spreading your American nationalistic message worldwide.
There's a new Morning Consult poll that is post-New Hampshire, so this was taken after the results in New Hampshire, that shows Bernie Sanders is increasing his lead. And
oh, wow. Now, remember, polls are full of shite and lie to you, apart from when they say what you want them to say. Then you go, look at the polls, and you go, right, well, you know that the polls are always full of shit. But look at the polls! Only when you're winning. And then when you lose, you go, well, it's a fix. Deep State Illuminati hacked it. Rally in North Carolina. Fox News showing you how big and wonderful and organic and grassroots and Twitter savvy Bernie Sanders' youth
Alright,
is.
so this is pretty interesting.
Oh, fucking have some sleep, mate!
So it looks like there's a super PAC of women.
Looks like there's two genuine, like, in the fucking universe, black holes where your eye should be, mate.
This super PAC that's going to be trying to put out this advertisement going after Bernie.
Oh dear, look, Bernie's getting attacked again. We have to save him. Hey John Boy, hey Lassie, hey Flipper, let's go and save Bernie. I don't know, that's my madness. That's what I see when I see all this. Bernie
It appears
Sanders,
that a rift is forming between Bernie Sanders and Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez.
Oh no, Tim Pool, the leftists, now drawing you like divide and conquer, they dividing you to all the ins and outs, now Bernie's getting attacked. Oh no, we need to save Bernie.
Uh-oh, I'm gonna get in trouble with this video, because in this video, we will be doing an expose on Bernie Sanders.
Live from Anarchapulco, walking about.
Not just me, but also Larkin Rose, an anarchist scholar, philosopher, author, an overall really, really fascinating, interesting human being. And I really wanted to delve into the topic of Bernie Sanders.
Why else would somebody be at Anarchapulco if it wasn't to sell books or snort cocaine and get hookers?
Who is he?
I heard the hookers at Anarchapulco are cheap as fuck. Apparently that's why all the Yanks go to Mexico. Hookers and blow cheaper
Why is he so popular? And kind of really talking to some of his supporters, because again, just because I'm making this video, half of the likes are going to be dislikes. There's going to be a lot of negative comments, but I think this video is going to be very important, and I couldn't think of anyone completely opposite.
Oh yeah, I just really showed look what I do get out. Oh, thumbs and downs videos makes me happy.
Of Bernie Sanders more than Larkin Rose himself. So I thank you so much for joining us.
Right, what you're not being told about Bernie? Apparently, these two guys in Mexico now know everything you don't know about Bernie. Do you know how they found it out? Using Google that you've got, but they know and you don't. Because somehow, some way, they can read stuff off the internet that you can't. But you can. You see? That's the trick. But they've got the super know-how research skills. No, pretty much Google or DuckDuckGo or whatever the one they fucking propagate. The rational, national Bernie Sanders takes the lead in Texas. Yeah, I'm gonna get them Texas Rangers.
All
Bernie
right, so we've got
Colonel
some really good
bites.
polling in right now, and multiple polls, pretty much all of them actually showing
Well, it
that
looks
Bernie
like he might have had
Sanders is
sleep.
surging,
No, he's not had
including
sleep.
a South Carolina poll putting
Turned into
Biden
black
at, I believe
holes
it was
again.
26 or
Oh.
28, and then Bernie at 20.
I'm not joking. Watching that poor guy's face makes me feel tired. It genuinely, it's like, my lord, did your mum not tell you to get to bed? In all seriousness, like if your ween had fucking bags like that, and they started genuinely looking no well. I mean, that's no well looking, isn't it? You'd go, here, get some sleep. Stop tweeting the Bernie.
Welcome back. Former Vice President.
Sleep is more important than tweeting the Bernie.
President Joe Biden is calling out fellow Democratic presidential candidate Bernie Sanders, wanting him to do more in condemning what Biden calls malicious online supporters. Biden
So as you guys are all aware, Bill Maher is somebody who has been very flip-floppy on Bernie Sanders. He was a big Bernie guy in 2016, to his credit. And even after that election in which, you know, once the general came around, he was doing a big vote for Hillary turn. But even after that 2016 election, he brought Bernie on his show. He's like, dude, if you...
Now, it's amazing, you know, like the independent media that doesn't watch TV, apparently, seem to just like sort of a parrot all the shit that's on the TV shows, and it's just rhyming and repeating the same media blurbs and all that that's out there. It has the same effect if the information gets out there. And they think they're independent journalists. I don't know, but it's funny. I know publicly that wee guy, man.
So this is a pretty crazy clip. Now, make sure to subscribe if you're new to the channel. But Bernie Sanders was holding a rally, and I believe it was in Colorado.
Did you see some boobies? Did you see some boobies?
There's a mainstream belief that if one of the moderate candidates became the moderate candidate, so the entire establishment coalesced around that one moderate candidate, that they would be able to defeat Bernie Sanders in the primary, because if you add up all the moderate candidates right now, like if you look at New Hampshire, well, they defeat Bernie Sanders if you add them all up and verse him. Except, first, that isn't how elections work, but also that isn't how people actually think and vote. And I have some data to back up.
So the other day...
No offence, buddy, if you did genuinely know how elections worked, you wouldn't be sitting running a YouTube channel. A lot more money and actually being a political strategist and knowing what actually goes on instead of just sitting there talking about it. Corporate media. I don't understand what this guy's talking about.
I predicted the next argument that they're going to make about Bernie. I said that they'll say, meaning mainstream media.
I said that they said that I would say, and like this whole sentence includes no actual any real person or anything getting said. It's all just, they're out to get me. They're listening to me. They're saying that.
Yeah. Sure, he won, but he has nowhere near a majority of support. So Bernie has a ceiling of support. And he probably can't eclipse a certain number, and that number's probably low, like around 30% or whatever. So, is he really winning? He's losing.
Oh, right. I actually kind of get it. The first time round, I didn't get it. Right. I think what he's talking about, Bernie Sanders right now, he's winning these New Hampshire and Texas, or wherever he's winning. because there's how many candidates are there? 3 or 4 or something? And he's coming in at 30%. He's saying that as more candidates fall off, none of them will gravitate towards Bernie. Or that's what he's theorising, anyway. Who knows?
By winning in Iowa and New Hampshire. I told you this is the argument that they're going to make. Namely, the ceiling part. He has a ceiling. He can't get above this certain threshold. Other candidates, they can. So, like clockwork, here's that criticism. Now, this is just one, but it's been made by multiple people in the past few days. This is from Meet the Press. They say, data download plus...
Right, understand that now. Washington State, massive crowd, mocks news. Anyway, so there you have the Joe Rogan Sanders effect. Since Bernie Sanders turned up in Joe Rogan's podcast, the biggest podcast in the world, but hey ho, I'm just an ordinary guy, just sitting here chatting with my buddies, drinking a little whiskey, smoking a little weed. Nothing to see here, folks. Suspend disbelief and think that I'm just gravy, baby. Anyway, let's have a wee look at Bloomberg is bad.
Fuck this motherfucker. God damn it. We got an oligarch trying to buy the presidency. Now, I made a statement on my Twitter last week that whoever...
Gee golly gosh, Batman, I didn't know that on this clip it was Colonel Sanders and rootin' tootin' fucking self. That definitely looks like the Colonel...
gets the nomination on the Democrat side, even if it's
it
not
fucking is, man.
Bernie
It's
Sanders,
the fucking
we should still
Colonel.
vote for because it's very important to get Trump out of office. And I got to take part of that back. If it's Mike Bloomberg, I don't recommend voting for him. I think it sets a very dangerous precedent.
I swear,
and a president to allow a billionaire just to buy the fucking presidency, which is what the fuck he's doing.
It's the fucking Colonel.
So this guy is a Republican.
Gee golly gosh, Batman.
He ran as a Republican.
I never knew about the gums in my teeth. I'm just coming down this little bit of town and just moseyed on down, and I actually met the Colonel Sanders himself. Oh, dear gilly gosh, so I did. There he is there. No denying, folks. No denying what your eyes are seeing. No. Yippee-yi-yay.
Mayor. He spoke at the Republican National Convention in support.
Where are you going today, Miss Daisy?
Support of George Bush. Last year, he basically...
I've just been pure distracted by the fact that guy looks like Colonel fucking Sanders. Oh shit. Hold on. My realities and TV and advertising are getting mixed up again, you know what I mean? It's hard to tell the difference between a fucking film or TV show or anything on the TV, or if you've watched that TV or film. Here's the thing. Watching films and TV shows on your computer is the same as watching it on a TV. You know, watching iPlayer or whatever, however you digest your TV, on a computer doesn't make you better than somebody who watches it on a TV. Just like this guy is clearly Colonel Sanders. Anyway, so watch out for what I would argue. Now, I'll be honest, I'm not familiar with that channel's editorial stance, but the point I'm trying to make here is what you will find, what I think I will find between now and next week is you'll find the demonising of Bloomberg from pro-Trump sources, the emphasis on how Bernie Sanders is grassroots and has real supporters, and Bernie Sanders is real and authentic, where Bloomberg's just trying to back. Now, I'm no fan of Bloomberg. I'm not in here to try and tell you what way to vote. Far from it. I think you're crazy if you do vote, but it's just me. Welcome to the Independent Republic of Estonia. But if you do want to vote for whatever you want. I just think in the next week, I think I'll be able to show this. You'll see a lot of negativity about Bloomberg, a lot of good shit about Bernie Sanders from people who think they're independent journalists when they're real, just NPCs for Donald Trump, whether they know it or not. Right. Now, believe it or not,
I mean,
I'm not even finished it. This is the first time me watching this. When was this out? YouTube and your disappearing dates. I hate you. 1st of February 2017, right? Oof. 3 years ago, man. Oh, wow. Right, 3 years ago. It took me 3 years to get around to watching this. Now, let me get the timestamp. Let me get the timestamp, baby. 58:20. 58:20. The 58 on the 20. There we go. Now, when I first fell down the rabbit hole of the conspiracy world, I tuned in. One of the first places I really tuned into was Mike Rivero and the No Agenda show. And I still believe that those two shows do a very good job of pulling apart the mainstream media and showing you how it's contrived and showing you how they spin things and showing you how they can twist and conject, right? I paid attention to how they done it and I started replicating it myself or trying to replicate it myself. The only problem was I applied the rules that the internet had told us to apply to the TV to the internet as well. So not only was I sceptical about the mainstream, the MSM anymore, I was now freshly sceptical about all the shit that we were now digesting on the YouTubes because I understood it was the new media. I wasn't the only one sitting there licking Windies 24/7. So let's have a wee listen to what Joe Rogan and the reason for me pointing at the No Agenda show and maybe even the UK column and Alex Jones, they show you how to dismantle, unpack the mainstream media, but they don't want you doing it to them. Now let's listen to some very, very, very wise words from Joe Rogan. Very, 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 very wise words from Joe Rogan, and then ask yourself what his podcast is. I mean, just apply the. If you're a Joe, if you think the sun shines out of Joe Rogan's arsehole, what he's saying here now, apply to everybody. Just apply this.
Have just seeing Alex like this is going to help people have a chance to look at this whole picture of just forget about where your loyalties lie, whether you enjoy CNN or Fox News or whatever it is.
Yep. Now remember, this is the internet telling you the only people that lie are the TV. So forget whether you like BBC One or ITV. Forget all that, right? But apply this to Joe Rogan and the internet and every podcast that you digest or wherever you get your information from, because it's all the same people.
Just sit outside of it right now and look at what it really is.
Okay, so let's sit outside of Joe Rogan's, the biggest podcast in the world, the biggest shop window in the world. Let's look at what it is. Let's apply what Joe Rogan's applying to the mainstream media. Let's apply it to him. Just fair, isn't it?
What it really is why does anyone want to give you the news?
Why does Joe Rogan, an average comedian, UFC commentator, want to give you the news? Oh, he's not giving you the news. You know, I can see when I speak to people, just like random strangers and stuff, I can tell if they listen to Joe Rogan or not. I really can. I'm not joking. I am not joking. You can usually tell with their fucking sleeve tattoos and dragons and shit. They're meditating. Fucking. And apply this to Joe Rogan.
Are they giving you the news because they love you?
Is Joe Rogan giving you the news because he loves you? I'm not saying he's a bad man or deep state Illuminati.
Are they giving you the news because it's a program and they're trying to make money?
Or is he giving you these podcasts because it's a fucking podcast and he's trying to make fucking money? Right? So again, I'm doing nothing other than what the internet told me to do at the TV. I'm just doing that to the internet. And nobody can handle it because everybody's sucked into a cult. Because The TV only had 5 channels, and then when the channels expanded, so on and so forth, limited number of channels. The internet has limitless channels. They can create every fucking fetish, every fucking freak in the circus. A wee person there to go, oh, I'm like you too. I like meditating and kicking people's cunts in martial arts. Wada! Oh, I'm just like you.
And do they have access to certain people because they're willing to play certain games?
And does he have access to certain people because he's willing to pay certain games? Right, again, all I'm saying is what Joe Rogan's saying here, I think is very valid. So apply his rules to what he's applying to the mainstream media to himself. Right? Now, I only done this the other day. Sort by most popular. This is how I came across this Alex Jones one, actually. So, let's have a look. Elon Musk, Alex Jones, Ben Shapiro. I don't know who that. Oh, I didn't know who that guy was until I started listening to his podcast. He's a guy that goes around and fucks women and Instagrams it. Edward Snowden, Neil deGrasse Tyson, Bernie Sanders, Neil deGrasse Tyson. Who the fuck's that cunt? Joey Diaz and Alex Jones, Eddie Bravo, Mike Tyson. Oh, Bob Lazar. Jeremy, oh, that was Corbett there. Right, anyway, so, even just by his largest shows, I would argue you can see the clear editorial stance. Does he have a... Now, I'm sure, where's Robert Downey Jr.? I caught him there. I'm sure it was just a fucking coincidence that Joe Rogan, who's best pals with fucking Robbie Downey Jr. because they sat there and drunk a wee whiskey together, I'm sure it was just a coincidence that fucking Iron Man or whatever show it was that was coming out came out just at the same time he done this podcast. Now, what you're witnessing a lot of the time on Joe Rogan, and I'm not saying he's a bad man for doing this, I'm just saying this is the reality. For me, it's the reality. What you're witnessing is your old school breakfast TV when there'd be a celebrity sitting there and a celebrity going, oh hi, I'm just here to talk about how the grass is green. Oh, and coincidentally, just a coincidence, here's my new book. They're there to sell you the fucking book. They're not on there because they want to tell you the grass is green. That's my point. Or hopefully I'm making some point. But follow Joe Rogan's rules, which he applies to the mainstream media, to him and every other podcast. Apply these rules to the No Agenda Show. Apply them to Alex Jones. Apply them to Kev Baker. Apply them to anybody. Look who they have access to. Look who they're all in the same wee cock circle. Oh, Max! Let's pass Max round like a 2-bit whore.
Most likely. When you're looking at something that's on a major league television show, whether it's...
When you're looking at something that's on the biggest fucking podcast in the world, they need you to suspend disbelief. Otherwise you'll realise it's no different from the TV programmes.
It's Fox News or NBC or
Joe Rogan,
CBS or whatever the fuck it is. You've had to go through some serious channels to get there. If you're a guy with a suit and a tie... Good evening, America. And you're doing that guy on any of those major networks. You've had to go through some fucking serious hoops and ladders.
Very true. Why don't we go and ask the managing director, the CEO or whatever of TikTok? TikTok have been very enthusiastic about getting their main dude on Joe Rogan's podcast, but he's knocked them back because they're Chinese. Whereas Minds.com, quite happy to have Minds.com, and look what it is. I don't know if you know what it's transpired to be. It's where... It's what they call it is the new freedom of speech, which is just basically all the shit that's been banned for YouTube and Facebook. That's where it's all went. It's went on to Minds. So Joe Rogan happy because he's freedom of speech, just want to talk about the internet stuff. I just like this guy, let's have Minds guy on. And he's trying to tell me he's unaware of the figures, the people he's reaching, the influence he's got. I'll just have Bernie Sanders on. It's like in the UK you wouldn't be allowed to do that on mainstream telly. You couldn't have a TV show with a politician coming on and doing a party political broadcast. Anyway.
And checks and balances. You got to represent something in order to be the person who reads the news. But what is that news for? Is it a fucking show? Or is it really the news? Are they really trying to help you? What
is Joe Rogan really trying to help you to meditate and all this shit? Or is it native advertising to sell his mates' products?
What are they trying to do? You know, like why are they doing the news? Are they doing it because they love?
Why, when you listen to Joe Rogan, do you constantly get dragged back to the topic, the current current affairs, current events? The guy's a fucking martial arts comedian.
Love you and care for you, and they want you to be informed.
And listen, I'm not saying that, I'm not saying this format's bad. I'm not saying that he's evil. I think Joe Rogan's a good guy. If by watching a lot of his podcasts that makes me a fan, I'm a fan. I'm just saying, don't suspend disbelief and think this is just a guy sitting in his basement talking to his pals. He doesn't get Robert Downey. He gets people on to native advertise shit. That's it. When he has him and his pals, comedian pal, do you know how many comedians would fucking... Do you know how many comedians probably have sucked off Joe Rogan to get on his podcast? As soon as you're on Joe Rogan's podcast, every cunt knows who you are. And everybody's booking you, your bookings go up. He sat there with him and his pals talking about this stuff. It's not like a secret or anything.
Or they're doing it because they're clearly biased and they've got an agenda. Well,
clearly biased and he has an agenda. Or as I would just say, like any media outlet has an editorial stance. Depends how you frame it. Because me saying that he's clearly biased and got an agenda, he would go, hey, look at this lefty I had on one day. I will look at the 99 right-wing Zeke Howell Nazis you had on compared to that one lefty. Your token lefty, and hey, I'm liberal. Hey, let's get Bernie Sanders on. I'm liberal. You know, I'm calling bullshit on that, but who am I to fucking say that?
If you watch Fox News and then CNN, just go back and forth whenever there's something going on. Like I did it after the election. I was like, Fox News, CNN, Fox News, CNN. Who the fuck is telling the truth? Someone's got to be lying. One of you fucks is lying. Because there's one story over here. And
yep. But the internet, we're not lying. And propaganda doesn't have to be lies, by the way. It's smear, conjecture, it's... They're dumbing it down to who's telling the truth and lying is dumbing it down, you know. It's not about who's telling the truth and who's lying. It's about who campaigns and smears the other best. Anyway, so there was some very interesting wee snippets for Joe Rogan. And again, the rules and standards that he applies to the mainstream media, do that to Joe Rogan and other podcasts and other media outlets on the internet that tell you they're independent, and I think you'll find more of them. Like I can't. It's very hard to find anybody that's genuinely independent. They're all fucking pals or cocksucking some other fucking numpty in the network. Honestly, I don't know. Anyway, let's get on. I can sum up the Mad Max pretty quickly. We've done 2.5.
Oh yeah, you're here. All right, Max. So, why don't you explain to everybody why you're not going to be at Acapulco this coming week?
Well, I slipped on my wet steps 2 days ago while I was walking out.
God, man, a fucking walking disaster. 1 second he's getting zapped with flat earth rays. And the next he's slipping on steps.
To get my washing, which I was washing today to in Acapulco. I slipped on the steps and landed on my ankle and sprained my ankle, broke my foot, broke 2 bones in the top of 2 bones in the bottom of my foot, and fractured 2 bones in the top of my foot, pulled all my ligaments, twisted my ankle, and yeah, I've got to go back to hospital in a week to see if they need to put some screws in the bottom of my foot to hold it back together. It's all been kind of pulled apart. So it was a pretty bad sprain. It was a pretty bad little trip down the stairs.
Oh dear. Oh dear.
Hi folks, I just wanted to come on and bring you a little bit of an update.
Right, so man, I mean, like, seriously, when is people positioning them as themselves as an expert on fucking everything? When is this shite going to wear thin on folks? You know, people are out there who think they're an expert on everything. And I don't know what it is. Maybe it's just the smart arse, you know. Sometimes you get smart arses or something, right? I don't know what it is. But you can't sit there, have a conversation, talk about anything without them knowing bigger, better, wiser, further, stronger. I cannot be bothered wasting time with them. You know, because initially you're like, well, hold on. It's just a bit boring now. This isn't a conversation, it's a fucking competition. And I don't know, man. What's Max Egan not an expert in? 5G, he understands everything. I think he's not an expert in staying on his 2 feet and shattering his ankle by all accounts.
Unfortunately, my computer got hacked about a year ago here.
Right, man. This guy is just the biggest Billy bullshitting guy around. If what him and Ken O'Keefe wasn't a big enough fucking kick up the arse to kick him off the pedestal, then surely this mental breakdown that unfortunately he's having live on YouTube should be the straw that breaks the camel's back.
I lost 6 hard drives worth of information.
6 hard drives worth of information? What the fuck are you storing on there, Max? In all seriousness, what the fuck are you storing? My computer got hacked. I'm sorry, see these lunatics out here that are sitting going, they sit there and they honestly think like the state's watching them or the Illuminati's watching them or they're hacking me, and it's paranoia through fear and fear through lack of understanding. They don't understand what's going on, so their get out of jail free thing is fear. I don't know whether this guy believes this shit or not, or it's just cock and bull. Anywho, 6 hard drives hacked. So what's he an expert in now? This is a mirrored video, alright.
It says you're live.
It must mean you're live.
Just get a couple of seconds. Well, yeah, but that's exactly, you look exactly like Hardy on there. So that's why I've done it. Good evening, everybody. Welcome to Raconteurs News on this Sunday show.
Oh, man. I don't know. I just think this whole... I genuinely find this shit funny, right? I mean, I honestly find it funny that through no fault of his own, right? Maybe PK's right, maybe I'm wrong, right? But this guy's just down the conspiracy rabbit hole to the extent that he's lost control of his mind. I mean, like, literally, really? You know, and I don't believe that he's doing it. I think he's a genuine... Mad Max, I think's a contrived old prick, to be quite honest. I don't think he... He doesn't seem as stupid. He's not so stupid to believe all the mumble-jumble bullshit he puts out there. Whereas PK, I think, is just a run-of-the-mill conspiracy guy. But hey-ho, I'm subscribed to his channel and I find it highly entertaining. What can I say?
Hi folks, just a quick update on the coronavirus situation. This will probably be the last update.
It's infected your nose.
I'll give you on this coronavirus. I think enough people are reporting on it.
Do you mean report? No. What they're doing is they're reading other people's reports and then going on the YouTubes and rhyming and repeating them. And people who have fucking no clue about viruses are out there parroting shite they don't understand, which may be freaking somebody out or not. I don't know. And I'm sorry, like... Max, I don't know why. What the fuck do you think an old man in Australia is some sort of expert to be able, for his wooden shed, tell you the secrets about the coronavirus? It's bizarre. Oh, I think that's the same thing.
It says you're lying.
Same thing, different channels. Right, what have we got? Now, again, right, apply a little logic, and this... Like, if you don't question any of this stuff, you'll start nodding along like an NPC. Now, the irony of people parroting this meme and not understanding that they've turned them by coming up with, by just rhyming and repeating some cunt else's meme, they've turned themselves into an NPC, but they can't see it. They can't see the irony of parroting this shite left, right, and centre. They're a bunch of NPCs. They're NPCs, and before you know it, you've just got groups of people calling each other NPCs, saying the same shit.
Life NPCs exist, people with no internal monologue, no ability to hear thoughts,
Yeah, what that means is you don't question this shit. It's kind of like, you know what Joe Rogan done? He's telling you to question the TV, but then people haven't got the internal dialogue to go, right, I'm going to do the same thing to Joe Rogan. Because if you do the same thing to Joe Rogan, he'll go, oh, they're just trolling me, I'm a liberal left, I don't like Trump.
Interview with a real-life NPC, a psychological analysis by me, based...
Right, remember, this guy is just a guy on YouTube, and he's doing a psychological analysis. He's not a doctor, he's a loon ball on YouTube who's rhyming and repeating the absolute definition of an NPC. Some cunt else's meme.
Based on all of the research into the human mind that I have ever done. Hello everyone, this is Mr. Obvious, and today on YouTube.com with Ryan Langdon. So, this video recently came across my attention, it's gone viral, and despite the fact that the user only has like 6,000 subscribers, this video has gotten 1,800,000 views. I could never dream of such a thing. But I find this video absolutely fascinating because it tackles a subject that has entered the public consciousness for a while now. The question of NPCs.
Yes, so no, this question hasn't entered the public consciousness for some time now. Some moron out there started rhyming and repeating this meme on YouTube and social media, so it's only people who live their lives online. And there are people out there who believe that what happens online is real. The people who think we're fucking, the trannies are taking over, for example. You know, that like, out of all the things in the world you could get your knickers in a twist about, a dude in a dress that, like, you might see once in your lifetime or something. Currently. Anyway. You choose that. But you're not an NPC rhyming repeating some cunt else's concerns. I independently chose to talk about NPCs independently.
Real life, non-playable characters who have no internal monologue. In other words,
this guy can't question him rhyming and repeating other people's memes as him not having internal dialogue or not an original thought. This ain't original. This is Donald Trump NPC shit.
Unlike me and you who can hear thoughts in our head.
Yeah, the other side are they're not human. Only me and you who like Donald Trump can hear voices in their head. And our voice should be saying, rhyme and repeat after Donald Trump. Rhyme and repeat after Donald Trump. Trump is great. Trump is great. I'm not an NPC.
The little voice that narrates and reads everything, that never seems to shut up and won't let you sleep at night. That voice that comes out when you argue with yourself in the shower. Some people don't have this voice. Some people don't have internal monologue. And that's where the NPC meme was born. Here on Know Your Meme, NPC Wojak. Explain. NPC Wojak is a depiction of the MS Paint character Wojak with a blank stare and facial expression, named after non-playable...
So, now, I don't know if you understand this. This was a right versus left meme where the right-wingers got around and went, oh, look at all the left-wingers. They're all standing around talking about the same things. They're NPCs. The irony irony that they couldn't understand that they were then all standing round saying the same fucking shit to the people they thought were NPCs. It's bizarro. It's like there's no logic. What happened to Spock? The Star Trek kill Spock? Bring Spock fucking back. Anyway, so that was the NPCs. See? 60 Twister, baby.
I covered the topic with the coronavirus being nothing more than a hoax, nothing more than a psyop, a fear campaign already. And of course, I made several videos on the whole entire Kobe Bryant psyop as well.
Everything's a psyop. Everything's a conspiracy. Everything connects into everything. And I believe this guy to be genuinely nuts. Genuinely nuts. Fueled by the nut bars that bounce up and blow smoke up his ass for being nuts. And see if you're nuts and see if you're nuts, the last thing you want to do is get fucking surround yourself with people just blowing smoke up your arse and never going like that. Yeah, that's batshit crazy. You know, it takes a real friend to tell you you're batshit crazy. Right? Real friends will tell you when you're batshit crazy and just seeing conspiracies everywhere. Right? Because there'll be a real friend and go, no, you're just fucking nuts now, man. You're just, like, you've lost your life. You've turned into a conspiracy. You're no longer a human being. You're a walking conspiracy. From the food to the water, to the air, to the clothes, everything, to the soap, to the toothpaste, everything. Fucking wrap yourself up in cotton wool, but there's a cotton wool conspiracy, I'm sure, as well. And go and fucking roll over and die because the New World Order's going to kill you. Anyway, so this guy's actually seen connections between a virus, an accident of, I dare to say an accident of the death of a baseball player. Who even knows? And it's YouTube psychosis, people. Now, again, maybe he's right, but I don't think so. I think there would be a vast. I think the amount of people that would come to his batshit fucking crazy fucking lunatic plucked fucking conspiracy conclusions would be very minimum to the amount of people that would go, "You're a fucking lunatic, mate." And I'm happy to be in that side of people going, lunatic. Right, and you're welcome to be a lunatic. I'm not going to stop you being a lunatic. But I'm going to use my free dum of speech dum and go, I think you're acting like a loony. And a YouTube psychosis exists,
all right,
people.
Folks, we're recording. Let's get this thing cranked up. Let's bow our heads. Dear Heavenly Father, we want to thank you for bringing our family together again today. Anoint this mess, let the seed fall on good ground. Let your word not return unto thee void. Let it accomplish that which you please and prosper in the name. In your precious Son's name we pray. All right, guys.
Yep. Somehow, some way, honestly, I can't watch this shite. Right? But this presentation goes on to tell you how the Jews are bad because of a Hebrew word. I kid you not. But hey, the guy prayed to the baby Jesus, so it's all good.
Hey everybody, I'm Chad Booksam. This is AMTV, Alternative Media Television. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. God.
My God, these people are running out of people to charlatan to. Now, they must have been threatened with getting sued, right? Or they just know they're scamming people, right? A very easy clue as to some cunt scamming you, talking shite, bullshit, sales techniques wrapped up in New World Order rhetoric is a big, massive disclaimer right away on their fucking comments. AMTV, hard-hitting and in your face. No thank you very much. Disclaimer. Important notice, important disclaimer. Earnings and income representations made by Christopher Green, AMTV Media, Bitcoin Rich, and any affiliated sites or companies, collective wave programs are statements that reflect earning potential only. So see all these Lamborghinis and these millions of pounds that people might have made that didn't make it. It's all smoke and mirrors and bullshit, people. Oh God, go and read that, man. It's fucking hilarious. It's long-winded. Go and read it, man. It's fucking hilarious. Right,
everybody, Christopher Green, AMTV Alternative Media Television. Please take a moment, like and share.
Look, they don't even, it's just vague, crazy statements. They don't even long ago Barack Obama was born on Mars. It's breaking, this is viral, huge cover-up, bombshell, baby, must see. They don't even, are not Pacific. Do you want to know why? They just want people to click on curiosity, then out of boredom listen to this tramp tell you how fucking much money you can make out of Bitcoin, but it's all lies because of the big disclaimer, and then he'll try and sell you Bitcoin. If Bitcoin's so great, mate, the Bitcoin you're trying to sell to people, you buy it with all your fucking money, you fucking charlatan piece of shit. Anyway, but I bet she's a nice guy. So, that's some versions of the YouTube psychosis. Let's have a look at international nationalism. Meerkat.com. Come on, Meerkat. Where's the Meerkat? Where's the Meerkat?
Okay, so we're live. I will need the
Yeah, we're live here. I got to love all these professional streamers that don't know when they're live. They can't even talk through their door. They got the worst.
A link. Can you still hear me? That's the link to.
He's a professional streamer.
Right now, like you don't on your Twitter, so your followers can.
Anyway, long story short, this is a guy sitting in Romania who loves nationalism but speaks in English on his YouTube channel. Again, the ironies, oxymorons. it's just there for all to see. He's not a true Romanian nationalist. He's an international nationalist, and. What is all these international nationalists all got that band together and what band these countries got in common? And if you figure that out, you might actually get closer to what these groups are really all about, and they're not about freedom of speech.
Thank you for joining us. I'm sat here with Joseph Lydon, who's a new recruit to Britain First, and he has volunteered to basically become East Midlands regional organiser. The East Midlands is a big region stretching from sort of Peterborough up to Grimsby way and all the way over to Derby. So everything sort of, you look at a map, everything to the right of the M1. It's a big old region, and today we've been out on the streets of Nottingham holding our first afternoon of activities. So you might notice that Joe's got a bit of an American accent. So you've got a bit of dual heritage in your family, Joe.
Yes, my father is an American and my mother is British.
Brilliant. Just like Winston Churchill. I think he had some American in his family line somewhere. But you're no shrinking violet. You talk very well, but...
Nothing quite says Britain first than howdy, ma'am. Hey, partner. Oh, these international nationalists. I don't know if they're just. I just don't know if they're morons or oxymorons. I mean, it really is lost on them. Right, China stinks. So let's see how bad China is. Right, again, this is coming for RT. You could probably get a video like this from anywhere in the world. A poor, overworked guy, falling down the stairs and all that. But all of a sudden now, you're getting barloads of this stuff coming out about China. And I think it's just part of the...
This is Dabu 7. We've seen a lot of footage coming out of China. Now we have footage of these people that have been rounded up. They've been...
Yeah, and anybody with any fact-checking skills will understand that 90 to 99% of all these stupid-ass videos that are doing the rounds about them getting carted away and all that are all fake. And anybody that does their due diligence will find that. But Dabu7 doesn't. Let's see where he's parroting this shit from. Zero hedge. I say no more. People point to this as if it's like some sort of a fucking... like a legit news fucking service or something, man. It's like... Right, if you want to go and do your due diligence about Zero Hedge, just do that. Google that, right? And then you'll figure out... well, I don't know, you'll get a better ideas of who Zero Hedge are, right? And they ain't so independent. and it's not a coincidence that all independent YouTubers love to parrot their pish. It's no coincidence. Shocking video shows people round up, blah, 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 blah. Yeah, we got this. It's a bunch of shite. I would say about 90% of the stuff you come across in Zero Hedge in the end turns out to be pish. It's an outlet to get pish out there, sprinkled with a ball hair of truth to keep the allure of news going about. Plus, everything's all conspiratorial slanted on it as well. Surprise.
This coronavirus, I'm seeing videos now of people getting hunted down and shot in the streets. It's garbage, and I'll tell you why. Don't get sucked in by it. I also want to talk about the Chinese and the thievery, that so-called trade surplus. Trade surplus nothing, they're a bunch of thieves and gangsters, and President Trump's right to clamp them down. And I also want to bring some special things to you that might be of interest to you for the conference. Join me in the Temple Report.
Right, so he wants to talk to you about the coronavirus and and tell you that the Chinese stink, and I mean that perfectly fits in with the title, China Stinks. He wants to tell you China stink and they're a bunch of thieves and gangsters, as opposed to the West, bunch of saints, you know. So there's the China stinks.
It's the 11th of February 2020.
Oh God, this guy just needed a new doomsday scenario. I mean, there's literally people out there. I'll give you an example. Let's use chemtrails for example. Right, the polarizing reaction you can get from talking about chemtrails and stuff, and like. The people that, like, I don't know, like, let's say, the people who are religious in that belief, that's the best way to say it, you know, they can't accept that somebody might not believe in them, you know, but they're religious in the chemtrail belief. They want it to be true. They would rather whoever Deep State Illuminati spraying us to mind control us all than the other option be true, which is it's a pile of shite. They would rather the doomsday fucking thing be true. They need it. They've nailed their flag to all these doomsday masks, and at one point they need one of these doomsday to come true. Shit, I need the Nibiru this week. Fuck's no coming. It's fucking going to kill us. This virus. No, 5G. Woo, no, the 5G combined with that is going to... They need all this doom and gloom to be fucking true. Now, if you're coming from a position where you're so religious in your belief in this shit, you need it to be true, you're not going to be able to take in information. You're not going to be like independent, and you're not going to be able to objectively look at information. Confirmation bias. You're going to be looking for things that confirm the doomsday thing to you rather than considering it all, because you're already put all your chips on the doomsday scenario. This guy, Fukushima, didn't kill us. He told us Fukushima was going to kill us thousands of years. Now he just floats around looking for the new bit of doom and gloom and just talks about it endlessly, about how it's going to kill us, how the Deep State Illuminati, they're not doing this, they're not, the governments are really propagating this, they've got no logic, no rhyme, no reason, just absolute peddling fear. But hey, he's got a cool studio and he's disabled, so you can't take the piss out of him. Hey, it's at the Copacabana. Every conspiracy is loud, even if it's fucking batshit crazy.
Times of Western Japan.
Like a fucking see if you open up the dictionary and it's got a picture of like a hipster. Corbett.
And yes, it is winter here in the Northern Hemisphere, so it is a struggle keeping warm during this time of year. If only I could go for a little hot fun in the sun, a little relaxation, and a little bit of work somewhere exotic like, I don't know, Mexico. Oh, that's right. By the time you're watching this, if all goes well, I should be on my way to Mexico for Anarchapulco 2020. So I hope you will be joining.
Yep. all these independent journalists, independently, all go to the same little meccas. AV9, Anarchapulco, fucking bit shit, this, bit crap, that. All independently, all get invited, independently, all turn up independently into the one big mecca.
Joining me there.
It's like Muslims, they all independently just had an idea to go to Mecca. You know? It's not because some cunt's fucking telling them what to do, reading out instructions. Come here!
If not, then I believe there will be video live streams available for a price. There's a package. You can watch every bit of the conference as it's going on via video live stream.
Yeah, for a price, you can watch us say all the shit we've said in our YouTube videos for free, but you can pay for the privilege.
Beings, this is Okadowski of WeAreChange.org here at Anarchapulco, an incredible event, and you guys have a very special treat today as we have an independent media.
There's fucking no there independent. Look at these sad sacks
Panel
of shit, man.
right now.
Like, no offence, man. Like, no offence. Can you imagine being in a fucking pub or club with those bunch of dorks? When you would fuck off outside, pick up a tramp, bring them in to make yourself look cool. Hello, guys. They look, man, do you know what they look like? They look like the Americans that walked into the boozer in Trainspotting. And we all know what happened to them. I guarantee they're getting raped by Mexicans before this trip's out.
In this video with, of course, James Corbett of the Corbett Report, Dan Dix of Press for Truth, Josh Sigurdsson of World Alternative Media, and, of course, Josh Friedman, who also works with a lot.
Did they all come from the same nose factory? What the fuck? That nose? And they're the fucking same box! They're the same person! Just different makeup. Dallas Gold Ticks. Let's get your shit on this.
On YouTube as well. All of the links to these guys will be in the description, and we're going to be getting into extremely important topics when it comes to the fight for free expression and free speech. I'm going to list off 3 very important questions. Go.
I'm sick of this freedom of speech, dumbed down fucking argument to fucking project crazy ideologies. Stop fucking boiling it all down to freedom of speech. It's not freedom of speech. You're trying to fucking propagate a crazy ideology that a lot of people don't agree with. And he's so thick as shit you can't even see what he's doing. Hey,
Does
man,
that work?
please.
I'm here with this guy.
Someone.
Mr. Luke from We Are Change. You guys know Luke if you followed my channel or if you paid attention to independent media at all for the last decade plus. You know Luke, and we're both here in Mexico right now. And
independently there.
We've talked plenty of times before, but today we're talking for a very particular reason. Because for those who don't know, I write for the Mind Unleashed website, big page on Facebook, about 9 million followers, facing censorship for a long time. Luke obviously has the We Are Change website, Facebook, YouTube, etc. And we're both kind of becoming aware of the next level of Facebook fact checkers. Most of you are aware that in the last...
Still talking about the purge. That didn't happen. Anyway, that's the Truffers winter break. So, what happened in Ireland? Deep State Illuminati at play again. Oh, it's just a...
Single right-wing patriotic party was smashed. Independents who were right-wing were utterly obliterated, and crazy lefty Marxist pro-immigration, pro-abortion, pro-gay people were voted in despite that's the very fact that's wrecking the country.
Oh, shock me. Ex-Orange Order dude Jim Dawson isn't happy with Sinn Féin getting in power in Ireland, but he's dressing it up as some sort of a Deep State Illuminati's one. Ah, the Deep State Illuminati's just won in Ireland.
So the Irish general election.
And here's this guy who independently talks about all the same shit Jim Dawson does, but this guy is actually Irish, so being an Irish nationalist and an Irish patriot, he constantly talks about Trump and Brexit. Because if you're patriotic about Ireland, the first thing that you're concerned about is Trump and Brexit. It makes perfect sense, doesn't it? Oh no, it doesn't. It's because there is no sense just rhyming repeaters. Right. Now,
welcome to Rocking Philosophy and...
Right, the gay elephant in the room. Fucking, the elephant in the room, mate, is your fucking nose. Right, that is the elephant in this room, baby. Look at that. In fact... Oh, where is my cock nose? I can't find my cock nose. Here we go. Right, that makes him a big bit more palatable to me. Okay, genius, there we go. Now, this guy goes on to talk about the gay elephant in the room and starts talking about how Philip Schofield's a scumbag because he had a wife. Right? And this is where these people are NPCs, they're just not thinking. And,
what is the bravest thing that a man can do in this modern and progressive world? Well, according to the media and the press, it's abandoning your wife of 27 years and announcing on national television that you have been living a lie and that you are leaving your family to embrace a new life as a proud homosexual man who is now out of the closet. And
now, everybody, you need to, this is some under the table homophobic gay bashing shit, right? And they're using Philip Schofield and what has happened with Philip Schofield. Now, are these backward, windy licking idiots trying to pretend that it doesn't enter into their head that if you happen to be a gay man in the fucking age of Philip Schofield, for whatever reasons he had, whether it be his mum and dad not being able to accept it, his friends, whatever, I don't, I'm not inside that guy's head, but I can automatically, my head fills up with a million possibilities why this dude had his bum love for so long, right? And none of them are sinister, devious. It's not an attack on the family. Abandoning your family is brave. He's not abandoning his family. He's been honest with himself. And if you think he's the first gay guy that's had a wife, a beard, or kids, and you're a fool, right? Now, see all these idiots that are now parroting pish and using Philip Schofield as some sort of as an ability to be an under the table homophobe, as if like they don't understand how it can be hard to come out as gay. They think being gay is as easy as being straight. You know, it's kind of like they don't understand. They don't understand what it's like to be a minority, right? I stayed in Govan Hill, so I fucking know, man. Like they don't understand that perspective for somebody else. They can't get themselves in the head of a gay guy, alright? And just understand that for whatever reason, whether it be family. But for whatever reason, this guy couldn't come out as an open homosexual. And he done what a lot of gay guys done. Ended up with a wife. Ended up with a family. Maybe he was lying to himself. Maybe his wife knew from the start. Who knows? Who the fuck knows? And all these idiots out there that are now jumping on the bandwagon of Philip Schofield, trying to like make it out as... Like, listen to this fucking idiot. And this is the guy that's too Nazi for Tommy This is for the Tommy Robinson isn't Nazi hating enough, isn't Jew hating enough crowd, sorry.
Unless you've been hiding under a rock, you will know exactly what I am talking about. Last week, Philip Schofield, a well-known television presenter here in the UK, came out as a homosexual. At the age of 57, Philip decided that the time was right to let everyone know that he had been living a lie and would be ditching his wife in order to pursue a new life,
I don't think he said, I'm just ditching her. This is me stabbing in the dark. I'd imagine his wife would have probably known about this before anybody. Maybe even she encouraged him to come out. Who knows? But this guy's an expert in homosexuality. For somebody who hates fucking gays enough, he's an expert in homosexuality. It's like Jim Dawson. the thought of guys fucking each other fucking repulses him. But he's an expert in it.
Only as a fully...
And it's now mandatory. So whoever's administering that mandatory gay sex to Jim Dawson Should probably tell Jim Dawson that big gay guy's having his wicked way with him for no reason. It's not mandatory. Gay sex is like all other sex, is just a choice.
Fledged out of the closet homosexual, but Philip would also humbly accept the role of Britain's bravest man, which was a role that was bestowed upon him by Britain's media, which has spent the last week or so fawning all over him. And yes, I am not making this up. Britain's bravest man is essentially what the press and media have branded him. And despite recent rumours of backstage problems and fallouts with other presenters, causing some to question his future as a presenter at ITV, that has all been quickly forgotten and swept under the carpet, as Philip is now top of the tree, the hero of the hour,
That's about as much time as I can waste. About like Philip Schofield isn't trying to fuck me. I don't give a shit. And all these, well, I think this guy's an open homophobe or whatever. You know, I think he just believes in the Bible and all that crap. Anyway, moving on from Philip Schofield and his gay ways, because that's up to Philip Schofield. Let's have a wee look at Tommy Robinson and his clones.
But yes, we have finally left the EU. Thank God. Pure shit. That's what it is. I'll wait for some people to get on.
This breaks my heart, man.
Which, well, if I can find it, I'll put that link in the description as well. Hello, Avis. It's nice to see you as well. So, a lot's been going on while I've been off for a month or however long it is. But maybe I'll do some videos, but on like a less frequent basis. I don't know. But I'm gonna head in because I got shopping to put away, so I said I was only gonna be back for a bit, and I'm gonna live up to that. And I'll sort out my hair as well. 3 short clips, huh? Good Lord. I feel for you then, I really do. Don't worry, I'll do more vids, Spencer, but obviously I need to make sure I'm in a good place, make sure everything's going smoothly, and most importantly, make sure I pay the fucking bills. Yeah.
That's the bit that broke my heart, man. This guy moved out his house because his mum and sister couldn't handle him, found it hard to handle him falling into the cult of Tommy Robinson, and seeing the way that the dude with Asperger's was fucking getting brought into a far right cult. And this has led to him actually moving out, man, and moving out on his own, where he's struggling. He's getting all sorts of, well, I don't know, like he's getting donations for people because of the stuff he's putting up. He's got a gambling problem. I mean, like, I don't know if anybody knows any of the sort of like anything about people with autism and stuff, man. I know fuck all, right? But one thing I do know is, like, they don't do things in halves, you know? Like, if they get into something, they're fucking Rain Man in it, you know? Just like this guy with the cult of Tommy Robinson. Didn't he do it in halves? Rain Man in it. Just like the gambling thing. And I don't know. I'm trying to remember now what he said. I think it's online gaming and shit. But he's moved away from his mum, he's moved away from his sister, and that's one of the first things the cults try and do. Get in between you and your family. And just think of the whole truther thing. I remember when I was fucking back in it, man, it was like, oh, they just don't understand. They just can't see. They're not awake. You know, us and them mentalities. If, like, my family and normal friends fucking stunk, couldn't hang about with them because they didn't understand fractional reserve banking. Anyway, that guy breaks that fucking Dablima breaks my heart, man.
Good afternoon, people. Yes, I am actually doing this video about 10-15 minutes after I've done my live stream.
And yes, he is kind of saying every thought that pops into his head without any filter, but anyway.
He's a good-looking chap, isn't he? And he's off to Russia. That's what happens, you get your Russian visa.
Oh man, that should have been in the International Nationalists. Again, a jet-setting, globe-trotting nationalist. This doesn't... The BNP going over and spreading their shit in America back in the day. What's his name? John Tyndall, talking about how back in the day the BNP were over there stirring up British nationalism in America. Now, and it doesn't make sense, doesn't it not? How can you have British nationalism in America? It doesn't make sense. Unless it isn't really nationalism. Unless it's something else. Disguised under nationalism, because at least you can say, here, I'm not a fucking Ku Klux Klan Nazi that just wants to get everybody a colour out my country. I'm just a nationalist. Anyway, so there's Tommy Robinson jet setting around the globe. What's this? This must be Tommy Robinson's channel.
He's a good-looking chap, isn't he? And he's off to Russia. That's what happens, you get your Russian visa. No interference from the British state, because they can't stop it. These are videos for a presentation, a lecture, whoops, I'm about to give.
Don't show your porn.
In Moscow. And this is research, stories, there are...
Going on to Infowars and printing off lots of Muslim stink stories isn't research, Tommy.
Right, good evening everybody. I think this is live, so I'm just going to check, so just bear with me for 2 seconds. Right, we're in. Okay, now we can get people in on the stream. Fantastic. We just get this shared. So as I said on Wednesday.
So there's I'm trying to think, what camp is he in? Don't know if he's in the Tommy Robinson love Jews or the anti-Tommy Robinson hate Jews. Tommy Robinson cult member. Who knows? Right, anyway. Let's have a wee shifty Tommy and his clones. Alex Jones and Roger Stones.
This evening, this guy, I can't figure this guy out. No, he's going to get his case overturned. I'm not going to say something just to say it if I don't believe it. I'll tell you why. If you don't believe what I'm saying, if you ever question if you ever think he's just saying that.
Yep. You're a propagandist, definitely.
Then I've lost. You have to understand my initial fealty, my faith, my belief in this president, my belief. Okay? You understand this?
Yep, you're in a cult. Donald Trump could screw a little girl in front of you and you would still think the sun shines out his asshole.
All right, my friends, happy Valentine's Day, one and all. I believe this eve we're going to have Mrs. Allen.
Now, does anybody, like, Roger Stone? I mean, what's happened with Roger Stone? It's a great thing to get your head around if you want to understand what's really going on, in the sense that Roger Stone is a known political strategist, political campaigner kind of thing, and he was the link between Alex Jones and the White House, and that was how Alex Jones then became a Donald Trump operative and not an independent media outlet. So, oh god, Brian Harvey is back. Right, let me get all this shit up and then I can get it over and done with. Right. So, let me just get something else up. So I just wanted to bring this in as a reminder, right, of how this whole network of trolls, who aren't trolls, but they're called Flow Destroyer, so it goes around destroying people's flows. Grobnob the troll, but they're not trolls. They're not trolls. Michael of the Mouse family, but they're not trolls. These are all just normal names. Lady Sparkle, named after the troll in the Troll movie, but they're not trolls. And they're all just banding together, a small group who enjoy my content, apparently. Probably not so much anymore. And they're investigating the Brian Harvey stuff. They think they're private investigators. And to this, to this point, you'll see them all congregating, obsessing. They're fucking weirdo obsessives. And they're fucking Fruit Loops of the highest order. And there was the wee group. And then what he started sending me was the secret files that they hold on people they're targeting. So they've got a file on me, they've got a file on Brian Harvey, they've got files on Malcolm Conrad Ogilvie. This is against all sorts of fucking laws. Against all sorts of fucking laws. Privately storing people's private information. You a bunch of fucking creepy bastards. Mike Dice stays in methyl. Thinking they can hide behind the anonymity of the internet and go around and bully and harass people to the point of suicide. So let's have a wee look at some of the murky troll swamp. So again, for some reason, somebody tell Brian Harvey to fucking get his head round OBS and stop thinking it's the deep state Illuminati hacking him. Oh God. Right, mate, what you've done is you've done an I've seen this happen before. People do an OBS bukkake. Like, OBS is fucking doing a lot of things. There's a lot of processes. You can have the best thing, but one conflict can fuck up your whole setup. So what you need to do is you need to start at the basics. Start with something that works. Test it, make sure it works. Add something else. Another camera. Test it, see it works. Add something else, test it, see if it works. It's the only way you're going to be able to build an OBS studio platform or whatever that will work. Because what you've done now, you've went like, I know how this OBS works, so I'm going to do fucking everything. 20 million feeds, audio, 10 million cameras, this, that and the other. And you've put it all together thinking it will all work. Then you're running it and it's not working. And unfortunately, there's no real way of knowing what's going on. You can hear its conflicts. That's why you're getting all this digital stuff. And this is just my uneducated guess. But I've fucked about with OBS enough. So what you need to basically do, strip it all back. Start with a basic one. Make sure it's working. Add a layer. Add something else. I've seen somebody else do it before, man. They spent all this time sorting out a lovely big OBS setup. It was brilliant and all that. And then I think it was their bandwidth couldn't support it. So anytime we tried to live stream it just wasn't working properly because their bandwidth didn't support it, and they'd spent, I don't know, however many hours getting a brilliant OBS set up together, you know. So you need to strip it all back, a basic working setup, test it, see if it works, add to it, so on, so forth. Anyway, the deep state Illuminati aren't hacking you to stop your OBS going out, man. My humble opinion.
So some people just can't leave it alone, can they? They can't drop.
They're weirdo obsessed, like they're OCD in the windy licking fucking internet world. OCD windy lickers. And remember, this is the Danny Jones of the hoax police. You know, another one of these truthers that can't even tell you their name. Tell so much truth, they have to hide their name.
I'm just putting another video out in response to something that I've just been sent from Danny Jones, Linda Morden, hoax police. Very weird. Just about as weird as Paris, actually. It's kind of on par. You lot are obsessed. obsessed. You might have had that in the heat of a moment, Lyndon, at some point in our...
Oh, that's right. What he's doing is... This is what you normally do. You keep records of every correspondent you've had with fucking people. You know, friends and all that. You keep weird records. You start weird files and storing it online in some sort of a weird, creepy Stasi database that anybody who joins the community that you're building to investigate the Brian Harvey stuff or the Hoaxstead stuff or whatever pish you think you are investigating, there's a wee database you can all dive into. Here's everything this guy's ever said online ever. Every fuck cunt and bugger. You fucking creepy bunch of fucking parasites. What you're doing is not all forms are wrong. It's fucking illegal in many ways. And see that Caroline Fleck thing that's just happened? It's going to be the death. It's going to be the fucking nail in the coffin of you bastards. Watch this space, man. I cannot wait. I can't wait. Anyway, so that said, Danny Jones of the Hoax Police. Another guy, you know, they're not trolls, but they put fake names and call themselves all this shit. But they're not trolls. Alright, just...
It's a little bit like if I was at a pub and I said something nasty about...
This isn't like, unique, you know? There's windy-licking fucking idiots online like this everywhere who think they can bounce about. And it's not just saying mean things about people. It's harassment, bullying, intimidation... and they think it's funny. Oh, you know. Anyway, that's how we listen.
And all of my friends said, you know, Jane, you can't say that.
Wind your neck
that's out of order.
Yes.
Yeah, then I would think, oh yeah, I don't know why I said that. But then if you're in the pub and you say something and everybody goes, we totally agree, you're right, you should say that louder. It becomes, you know, a kind of, you keep saying those horrible things.
Do you know, I'd go even further. So you're in the pub, you say something disgusting, all the decent people in the pub, all your friends, they all give you, you know, an evils. They all tell you to wind your neck in. But then there appears at your shoulders these sort of voices that are disembodied and anonymous, but they're all shouting, Jane's right, Jane's great.
Yep. Sounds like trolls to me. They're anonymous, but they fucking then try and get people to fight with each other for shits and giggles. Say that you said that he says that I says that you says that I says. I mean, all the shit they're doing is sick and twisted. And when they get caught for it, when they get caught for it and outed for this shit, they're going to look like the biggest bunch of fucking wallopers put on this planet. And with the way the feeling in the nation right now, after all that Caroline Flack, I don't even know her name, shit, is right now. This shit is hot topic right now. So if you want to if you're a victim of any of these trolls, right now would be a very good time to get to your MP, your local MP. It would be a very good time to get to as many local press outlets as you can as well. And tell them that you're a victim of this organised troll network and show them some of the examples of how you've been targeted by this network.
The next thing you know, you don't go to the pub anymore. You just spend all your time online with like-minded bigots and trolls.
Yep, like-minded, small-minded fucking morons blowing smoke up each other's arse, trying to pretend that what they're doing is right.
It's been quite seductive, but again, you know, even as I say those words, in the back of my mind, I'm thinking, God, how lonely must you be to seek that sort of solace and company?
Aye, but it doesn't excuse their actions.
I have repeatedly asked...
Right, now, here's again... So, let me just clarify one more time. Flow Destroyer, Mike Dice, who stays in Meth Hill, his right-hand man in command that he passed his show to was Grobnob the Trolls. Grobnob the Troll. But they're not trolls. They just started up a small group to investigate the Brian Harvey shit. Weird Stasi bastards. Who the fuck do you think these are? And Brian Harvey has been continuously subject to the same fucking trolling tactics that I have. That's why the newspapers love this shit. Because it's built in with Brian Harvey. And here we have them driving. This poor woman, I don't know what her crimes are. Maybe she believes in UFOs, God, satanic paedophiles. I don't know what conspiracy this woman believes in to have been targeted by this mob. I couldn't give a shit. I just know what lengths they do and have went to try and poke you with a stick. And here's another woman now at the brink of fucking suicide because of Mike Dice, Alan Mitchell, Michelle Bingham, James Mitchell. All these fandans. And anybody want to know their address and stuff, contact me. I'll give you all the details I've got of them. And you can go and address your grievances with them at their front door if you want. Listen to this. This will break your heart, man. And remember, I don't know what this woman's crime is. I think she believes in some conspiracy that they deem you're not allowed to believe in. And this is Mike Dice, Grobnob, all the fucking fandans for the Hoaxdead mob, bouncing about the internet like they're fucking some big internet gangsters, dishing out their justice.
Certain people to leave me alone. It's been going on for a year. I'm putting this out there, that these people are driving me over the edge.
Michael of the Mouse family, his details are down there. I've got his front door number. If you want his address, contact me. The details are down below. I'll tell you where you can hand on the address to the police. See if they'll do anything about it. If they don't, you can go and address their grievances yourself.
And I have informed the police.
Now, what that's them doing there is, I don't know who Phil Leak is, but I believe this is like a dead family member of this woman. I don't know if it's a brother. I don't know. I really couldn't care. I don't want to get too fucking emotionally involved in the story, to be quite honest. But the good guys are trolling or pretending to be this woman's dead relative or some shit.
And I want it known who are responsible. If anything happens to me, who are responsible. It's in my video.
She sounds like she's on the point of breaking, ready to fucking harm herself or commit suicide or something, doesn't she? Remember Brian Harvey putting a noose round his neck, who'd been trolled by these people for 5 years? I've been contacted by numerous people talking about being in fucking suicidal conditions because of these pricks. And it's Mouse, Mackenzie's Devils, Lady Sparkle, and their fucking little fucking Addams family of fucks that are doing it. And they won't be doing it too much longer.
Yes. Going over months. These people know how far they've been pushing me. They've used my daughter over and over and over again.
Abusing their daughter. Ain't that lovely? Ain't that beautiful? The people who are out there pretending they're protecting children are actually the child abusers. They are the children abusers. They're the one that fucking rid that Hoaxdead shite for all it was worth to get some hits and clicks online, to get some followers, to virtual signal how fucking good they were. Bunch of fucking cretins. And wait till you see who's investigating you now.
My brother was dead before I've even arranged a funeral. Trolled people, dead people in my name. And continuing with Mousy and MKD. I've urgently called the police and told them I'm going to do something drastic now because I've had enough of this harassment. And
good, Maria. Or Marie, whatever. Get the cops involved. Now's the best time ever. Tell them what a state you're in. Tell them the guy's name's Alan Mitchell. And that his fucking sister works for Enable Scotland. Tell them everything. Listen to this poor woman.
Abuse.
So there's little fucking Fraggle Rock fucking Alan Mitchell. To see how big you are when I fucking look you in the eyes, you little tramp. Cannot wait. Anyway.
Yo guys, what is up?
And again, if you don't stay in an Orwellian wonderland, this is what real hoax police look like. This is what people really dealing with scammers that fucking affect people's lives on a daily basis, not just fucking people who might believe in a conspiracy or not. And this is like real, what's it called? Scammers revolts, as opposed to your hoax police and all that pish. What the fuck was that? Oh Lord, won't you buy me a Mercedes? Oh right, aye, I remember that now. There's another victim of these assholes. So there's little Helen Baby crying about getting trolled and everybody's I need to shut down my YouTube. Like fucking Bernie Sanders playing the fucking victim. These motherfuckers try and play the victim all the time when they're out there like fucking trying to destroy cunts, you know what I mean? Fucking idiots, don't work with me. So there's little Helen Baby, because of her friendship with Mouse and Sparkle, has now fucking been caught up in these stupid ass troll wars, and she doesn't know what's happened. Hen, you're friends with somebody who named herself after a troll from the film Trolls, you stupid cow, and then you're sitting there going, I don't like trolls, I don't do trolls. Grobnob the fucking troll, Flow Destroyer, your whole little fucking sorted group that you were bouncing about with. Anyway, another sad fucking victim of these idiots. Won't be the last. There will be one last victim. Who that will, who knows. So there's fucking that pish anyway. Right. It all started with a little... We're just investigating the Brian Harvey stuff, you little fucking creep. Creepy bastards. Shit, I just closed that. I didn't mean to. Right, let's round this up and I'm out of here. What's that? 2.5 hours. That's good. Don't know how long it's going to take to upload, but hopefully it'll go out in the right time. 28. Oh, I want to show you this.
What's up, Melissa? How are you?
Hello, Joe.
We were just talking about caning and hanging with a lot.
Now, do you remember what Joe Rogan was talking about? The thought processes you should run through your head when you're watching Fox and CNN and all that. Do the same thing here, right? Why is this Chinese-looking woman? Hold on, I'm trying to think of a workaround. I think I found a workaround. 28. This Chinese-looking woman on Joe Rogan telling you how stinky China is and how bad Huawei is.
Apparatus of the main party, the government. And, you know, I really...
So, why has Joe Rogan got her here? Why is she here? Why is he getting paid 30 to 60 million pound a fucking year? Why won't he have TikTok on, but he'll have Minds on? Why will he have this Chinese-looking woman on, but no TikTok on? And why when he gets a Chinese-looking woman on, she's a American telling you how stinky China is and how bad Huawei is? Huh? Why is he giving you this news, Joe? Let's ask the questions Joe Rogan asks the CNN and Fox of the Joe Rogan podcast.
I think that Huawei, is, with respect to the next era of the digital world, is the next Sputnik. Like, it is the Sputnik issue of our time, and we should be doing everything we can to not allow Huawei to, you know, have this big market share.
Right? No, because the 5G is a direct energy weapon that's zapped in Max Egan, and the 5G combined with the chemtrails creates a big sort of a Power Ranger Uber conspiracy. Nah, you're getting played for fools, man. Easily manipulated by an old man in Australia telling you how bad 5G is. But hey, I'm woke, man.
The show, please do me a favour. As ever, give this a thumbs up if you value the work we are doing. So we've got 2 hours on a Sunday night of real news coming up.
It's not
and
real
opinion.
News. This is from UKIP Youth. But hey, when the newspaper said you were UKIP Youth, that was fake news because I'd quit UKIP Youth last week. Oh God, man, 5G's bad. He's telling you 5G's bad.
I have seen the intrepid man.
Oh, and he's actually going to tell you the truth about 5G. I mean, fucking hell, ain't that what we all want? We just want the truth about 5G, baby. The right wing echo. Let's finish off with this.
Dresden. This is the anniversary week of
Now, do you think it's weird that all the far-right groups continuously go on about Dresden? I'm not saying to forget about it. I'm not saying in the broad spectrum of history it's not something you should learn about and stuff like that. That's not what I'm saying. I'm asking you the question, why the hell do all these alternative media outlets like Jim Dawson drag your attention to that? I'm not giving you any conclusions. I'm asking questions here. Here's Jim Dawson's neck of the woods, Hungary. All the far-right guys are out. Where's his wee speech?
Nationalists blame the gypsies, and they are the...
It's the gypsies.
And want to the Hungarian hate the gypsies, because this is, if hate the gypsies, not see the real face of the capitalism.
Dear
We hate
friends,
the gypsies.
in view of recent events in Syria, Southfront wants to explain why we are...
Dear friends, Southfront wants to explain why we take sides while trying to position ourselves as independent media. It's because we're actually funded by the Russians. I like Southfront, you get good information and all that, but again, you can't suspend disbelief and think it's independent news.
Okay, so this is going to be a little bit difficult to open up. It's something that I haven't talked about that till now, and I feel very PSP-ish to talk about it, but I need to talk about it. Lately, my channel hasn't been doing very well, and it's not just me. It's pretty much everyone that's into the political commentary. Left-leaning, right-leaning, it doesn't matter. YouTube has...
Yep, YouTube is doing its level best to kick off political propagandists, whether they know they are or not. Now remember, this is the international nationalist from Romania, who can't speak Romanian, doesn't give a shit about Romanian politics, but he's so nationalistic about Romania, he obsesses about Trump and Brexit. Echoes
You're
of the
watching
right.
the KUSI News at 5.
During the Senate impeachment trial of President Trump, Kentucky...
Shit.
You're watching the KUSI
issue, how YouTube decides on what videos to censor, and also Democratic presidential candidate Michael Bloomberg's efforts to buy memes on social media is YouTuber and author Mark Dice. Good to see you, Mark. How are you?
Thanks for having me back.
So let's talk about Rand Paul. He tried to
Yeah, Mark, your tits do look big in that.
get the name of the whistleblower out into the public perception, the public eye, and YouTube shut him down. It's out there online.
So there's the independent journalist independently coming to you from the lying mainstream media. Hold on, Mark Dice, you tell us the truth and the mainstream media lies to us. What does it mean when you tell us something on the mainstream media? Does that mean it's then lies? Because I feel to... If they are the liars, does that make you a liar for being on there, Mark? Anyway, hopefully you've enjoyed that. Something a wee bit different. And delivered a wee bit different. Pre-recorded. You know, it is... There's nothing quite like doing it live, baby. And I'll be back next Tuesday doing it live. And hopefully next Monday as well for a Truth or Industrial Complex podcast. I'm going to try and squeeze one in. Soon. So make sure you bell, sub up, all the good stuff for that shit. Remember, thanks for watching tonight's not the Infowars Nightly News, the original, the OG baby, alternative look at the so-called alternative media. Skeptical with the spectacles, and I've got testicles about the so-called skeptics and watching the motherfucking Watchmen, because somebody's got to do it. Remember, if you do appreciate the show, it's digital basket. It's all available and accessible free of charge. I'm going to do such a good job you'll find value in what I do and use your spare change, not your life savings, on the Patreon and PayPal buttons down below. And a mega thanks to those who do. Hopefully I'll get this up soon and it should be starting ASAP. Alrighty, boob tubes. Thanks for watching. Catchies.
Clips.